$1947. The last time the Bears had the first pick in the draft. That was 75 years ago. And I don't know how old you are. I do know how old I am. I just turned 48 this past Christmas. Happy birthday to me. This is epic, is it not? There's a lot of people that said that, they don't care whether or not we had the first pick. There's a lot of, fans that have different perspectives on all fronts of where this team ended up at where we're at now. But we have the first pick. And by the way, I've seen a lot of Twitter handles saying that, it's time to erect the Lovie Smith statue around Hallis Hall, or the new field when they build it in Arlington Heights, right? Because it's kind of serendipitous that the word is Lovie knew he was being fired, and therefore he was going to just give it all he had to win that game. Was it to help us out? Doesn't matter. In the end, it happened in a crazy manner. 4th and 20. They get a touchdown and go for a 2-point conversion, the Texans, and they end up winning the game. And here the Bears sit with the first pick in the draft for the first time in 75 years. There's some people that are upset about that. There's some people that are fucking elated about that. Kitty, let's kick this shit off and find out who is.
Bears country. Where is it? It's in your man cave. Your home. Your car. Your local bar. Your city. State. It's across the world. It's in your heart. And it's here. The Bears Country Podcast.
That's right. Bears Country Podcast is here, and this is the final night of Bears Country Podcast being broadcast from the Barroom Network. For anyone that doesn't know, Bears Country Podcast, we started off as a fledgling podcast, and Mr. Aldo Gandia, the podfather himself, brought us on to the Barroom Network for our Monday night show. We were doing that before we were brought on to the Barroom. And so this is our 18th show on the Barroom Network, and it has been an absolutely amazing experience, and I want to thank everyone who has been a part of this, everyone who has supported Bears Country Podcast, everyone who has supported the Barroom Network, and for those that do not know, Bears Country Podcast is its own channel, and it has now become Bears Country Productions. And within that spectrum, there's videos of every plays, of all 22s. There's some additional podcast content. We're going to be doing a lot more additional stuff on there ourselves on Bears Country Productions. So tonight, this is the final broadcast from the Barroom Network, and it's also a prelude into tomorrow night, where the Dan and Aldo Bare Their Souls show is now Bare Their Souls. And that's going to include Nomad and myself, as well as Dan and Eldo and Mr. Tooch. So stay tuned for that tomorrow night, because we're going to have a blast kicking that off. We're going to kick some fucking ass on the Barroom Network on Tuesday nights. And just for this, the final thing for tonight is, this is the last show of Bears Country Podcast on Monday nights on the Barroom Network. We're going to have a blast. We're going to kick this shit off. We have Cliff Victoria back, because Cliff was one of the first co-hosts on this show on Bears Country Podcast on the Barroom Network. And so I wanted to honor Cliff by bringing him back on tonight. And he has some excellent shit to say about the position that we're in on this, with the number one pick in the draft, and kind of what other teams have done in the past, where the Bears can go with that. And there's some exciting shit to think about, for a long time here coming forward. So guys, I'm long-winded. I'll shut the fuck up. I'm going to give the table to you, Nomad. How you doing, buddy?
Man, it's such a bittersweet moment, because you just think about it. Just a few months ago, we were, in everybody's chats and just talking about, this and that. Next thing you know, you're doing the show. Next thing you know, I'm on the show with you. People like it. They gravitate towards it, and boom. And then we kind of fall apart a little bit. I go away from the show. You get Dan, you get Cliff. You guys keep the show going. And then I come back to the show. And then all of a sudden, here we are getting a full-time spot on the Barroom, doing a well-established show that already was not messed up to begin with. They're just adding a couple of pieces of flavor to it. And and how thankful I am for how things have played out in our favor. I just appreciated how it came to us. And more than that, I appreciate you guys, man. I know I get into a few little spats and I talk a little shit, but you guys have no idea how much love I have in my heart for you guys, because it wouldn't work unless you guys were here. So I really appreciate you guys more than you know.
I mean, seriously, everyone here, everyone in the chat room, everyone that's part of the Barroom Network, this has been an amazing family that we've been a part of. And it's, like you said, it's kind of humbling I can't believe that we're going to be on tomorrow night on Bare Their Souls with Dan and Eldo and Tooch. And it's going to be the show moving forward. I'm so excited to see what's going to come of that, because there is going to be so much creativity and so much humor that's going to come from that show. But I think that we're going to definitely be able to up that a notch a little bit and kind of take a little pressure off them, right?
Think about that. Just think about that for a second. This is a well-established show they've been doing for 3 years with no problems. They do a very good job, and those two feed off of each other well. They thought enough of our personalities to accept us in as a part of their thing, and to even change the name of it to, I guess, to help us assimilate with the whole situation. I'm just so grateful, man. I just want everybody to come over there. It's going to be a little bit different. I know you guys are used to just Dan and Aldo, but it's going to be a little bit different, but I think in a good way. I think in time, you guys are going to really like it.
And I know there's been a lot of people that have kind of come out and said, oh, should I unsubscribe to Bears Country Podcast now? And you're welcome to do that if that's all you were doing it for. I mean, but there's other content on there that you might like. And there's also people that were saying,
Who said that?
This is going to suck. I don't know. I don't remember their names, but other people were saying this is going to suck without Dan and Aldo, and with more than just Dan and Aldo. I love just Dan and Aldo, but we're going to make that show a lot of fun. And listen, guys, Aldo is he's getting up there. He wants to put more time into the production of the show, and a little bit less time into having to actually appear on it. And I understand that, as of having done 18 shows of Bears Country Podcast on the Barroom. I know it's a lot of work. And so all of us collaborating together is going to make an amazing show, I think, moving forward, that we're all going to have a lot of fun with, including the fans in chat of the show.
You guys just tune in. I promise you, we will not let you down. I promise you.
I promise you we will not. So, Nomad, that being said, should we bring Cliff in here and start talking about this fucking season that we just had?
Why not? I'm looking in the chat. Kitty saying Chris wants to jump in. Chris Watts.
Let's fucking bring Chris in. Send him a link.
Might as well get Dan Aguirre. Call that motherfucker.
Let's get everybody. You
Bring
guys
it
are
full
going to be
circle.
you guys are going to be doing 5 people on the show on Bare Your Souls tomorrow. Let's do it. Come on.
Everybody wrestling
Might as well.
and fighting for talking time and shit.
Might as well put Kitty to the test on our last show, right? Yeah, go ahead, Kitty. I'll send him the link. I know. Thank you.
Wait.
I don't have his fucking email address.
I think we better let Cliff get his party in first, because that's going to be a little bit difficult.
Absolutely. First off, Cliff, thank you so much for coming on, man. You've been a part of the Barroom you've been in chat forever. You were on the first Bears Country podcast on this channel, or on the Barroom Network, I should say. And we kind of took a break because it was getting to be a lot with the Cliff Notes and all that shit, and you had to focus on your career and stuff. It's awesome to have you back for the final, like the prelude episode of BCP, and just thank you so much for joining us, man. So how are you feeling, buddy?
Well, I want to say thank you to you guys, for having me on the show. People in chat know I've been there a long time. I enjoy talking with everybody in chat. I think I know a little bit about the Bears and what's happening. So I've been happy to be on the show and give my perspective on some things. Cliff Notes worked out well. It got to be a little lengthy. And especially with Nomad coming in, there's just so many minutes in this show. So I'm happy to be back for this final Monday night BCP episode. And I look forward to seeing what the future is going to bring. I think we're going to have good things coming on both BCP and Barroom with you guys going there now.
Yeah, I agree, because Cliff's going to be – so, Bears Country podcast is now Bears Country Productions with many different things, as I said, films, videos, and some podcasts. So we're going to have Cliff on for some of those as well. So if you guys love what Cliff has to say, he'll be on for some of those as well. Make sure you stay tuned for that. Set your notifications if you enjoy that content that we have on that channel. I did just send the invite to Chris Watts, so let's see if he hops in with us.
Yeah, definitely. Let's get Chris in here.
So, guys, we have the number 1 pick in the draft now. I mean, this is something that Sports Illustrated predicted in the beginning of the season. And Nomad, we talked about this in real time as they said it. We were like, what the fuck are they talking about? And ironically, I'm going to pull it up right here, that actually they were entirely correct that, I fucking lost it. I pulled up a different thing. They actually had, Sports Illustrated had the Bears at 3-14 with the first pick in the draft. And how pissed off were we about that, Nomad, in the beginning, right? Here we are. They were fucking right. That sucks.
I was downright hostile, man.
Pissed off.
I was a hostile motherfucker about that, because for a whole lot of different reasons, and quite frankly, and I'm not patting myself on the back, but I did create the title to this show, which is The Stars Are Aligned. A lot of things had to line up for us to be in this position. Yes. And some of what you're talking about being that, losing those close games. And I mean, the team is competitive as fuck, but you lose those close games for whatever reason, whether it's a Velas fumble or whatever reason you might come up with. But somehow, some way, we landed on the quarterback of the future, the right record, and then what happened with Indianapolis and Lovie just jizzed all over Cal McNair's head, just jizzed on that motherfucker. He just said, fuck you, motherfucker. I know what you about to do. Take this with you. Take that home with you. Cook with it. Do whatever you want to do with it, but here, take it. But everything had to line up in order for us to be here. And if you're a historian of just, if you know history of the Bears, we never get fucking breaks, man. Never get the good breaks, but everything broke our way this year. Everything. And it's the perfect timing for it all. It's about to get fucking good, and I'm happy about it.
Yesterday was a very good day to be a Bears fan. the stars were aligned in our favor. First the Bears, we knew they were going to lose the game. They're sitting Justin, they're sitting other players. We knew the way that one's going to go, but I don't think anybody really felt that Houston was going to win the game, even though Indy needed a loss. They need a quarterback too. So Lovie giving a big FU to the entire Houston organization. I chuckled when I saw that. And then to add to it, sorry, Don Burr, but your Lions got knocked out with Seattle's win. So that adds another bit of joy. And then the Lions come back after getting knocked out, and they beat the MFN Green Bay Packers to knock them out of the playoffs. And did you see Aaron Rodgers, when he's after the game, he's walking out of the stadium, he's looking around, he's taking it all in like this is it for him. So we're going to have to see what happens with that.
I saw Randall Cobb squeeze his ass.
No, I'm serious.
Looks like we got Chris Watts in the house.
All right, let's see Chris.
Hey, mother.
All right, guys. Guys, okay, we have to understand there's a delay here with Chris, so give him here a second here. Chris, how you doing, man? You got
I'm doing fucking great, mate. I'm doing absolutely great, fellas. It's so fucking good to speak to all of you, man. It's great to see Cliff again, and Nomad, the man of mystery, the man with no face, and obviously you, Dan, the fucking great guy. So, yeah, I just couldn't sleep, man. I couldn't sleep at all, so I just
Hey there, Chris. Great to see you.
See if Dan'll let me. And I don't know what's happened to my phone.
Turn it up. Reset his thing and come back in.
Well,
Hey, Chris,
I'm back now.
Reset your internet and hop back in.
Can you not hear me?
It's really slow.
No, there's a major delay. Can you reset your internet and hop out and hop back in?
Yeah. I'll do that for you, fellas. No worries.
Restart the computer and then hit the link again. It worked for me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Restart.
Yeah, he's also 5,000 fucking miles away. But, you know, we all love Chris Watts. I set up a GoFundMe account for him to try to get him to the United States to go to Soldier Field to see a game. So we'll be actually playing that in a little bit. So it's great to see that Chris wants to jump in with us tonight, just to be a part of the farewell Bears Country podcast show on the Barroom Network. So we'll get his internet reset and bring him back in. So, Cliff, what are you thinking with this pick, man? Like, what trade, keep? I mean, there's a lot of Bears fans that think trade Justin Fields and sign another quarterback. It's fucking ridiculous. But I guess to make the argument for any one of those people that think that, like, just what do you think about this as far as trading or keeping?
The first thing I'm going to do if I'm Poles and Cunningham is start getting on the phone and start listening to offers. There are half a dozen teams in the top 9 that can use a quarterback. So how many of those half dozen are going to offer us picks, players? Let's see if we can get a bidding war going and make it so that we have to trade down because we're offered so much for it. That's my first choice. Second choice, all right, distant third is taking another quarterback. Then you get your QB controversy. I think Justin Fields would have been the number 1 pick in the draft this year. So I have no interest in that. And the other one option, if you don't get any trades that are worthwhile, you go ahead and you take your pick. You take Will Anderson, you take Jalen Carter, or whoever your scoring has put up there as your top guy. But trading down, that's definitely the way to go.
Nomad?
Is that Lynn I see in there?
Yeah, it's Lynn. Hi, Lynn.
Hey, boo. How you doing?
Lynn, I love Lynn.
What's happening,
She's
boo?
one of my favorite people to talk Bears with.
Hey, there's Chris.
I'm back
That's my
again.
Auntie Lynn.
That's a lot better.
All right, you're much better, Chris. There you go.
Awesome.
All right, so we're going with.
I don't know what
We're going
happened
with
there.
It's okay, no worries. We're going with Nomad on trading the pick or keeping the pick, and or trading Justin Fields and drafting a quarterback. Nomad's next. You're next, Chris. Go ahead, Nomad.
So I heard this word a long time ago, and I guess you can use this in relation to what I'm about to say. It's called tomfoolery. All that bullshit about trade Justin Fields, man. What the fuck planet you live on? What are you thinking about? I don't even entertain that. Anybody that even brings it up in the chat and says something to me about it, I don't even listen to that bullshit. Anyway, moving on. There's no fucking way in the world. But there is a little caveat to the whole QB situation as far as the trade market goes and the first round pick. There's going to be a lot of quarterbacks on the move. Like that shit in Tampa it's finna go to the shitter. You see what's going on with Aaron Rodgers. I think he's out of there. So those two, number one. You got Derek Carr out there. Maybe Jimmy Garoppolo gets moved, and maybe they actually, stick with Trey Lance because they got so much invested in him, unless they can get some of that draft capital back. And you even got some moron out there would probably build a team around Ryan Tannehill again. But you have those guys floating out there, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams that are probably going towards a rebuild. I can name them if you want to, but that's going to add a whole lot to this whole picture about the trade market, about the the draft pick market, who wants to get where. All that stuff is going to add to the soup. So it's going to be interesting. It's not going to be quite as simple as people think it is.
You're up next, Chris.
I think people talking about trading Justin Fields must be smoking crack or something. They must be on something because it's the most ludicrous thing I've heard in a long time. We finally got a quarterback with some talent, and he's proved it this year, even though he's still got a lot to work on, regarding his short-term passing game. But to say that we're going to trade him it's just ridiculous. I mean, we're going to have so many changes to the squad in the next 12 months that we need something what's stable to sort of center around all these new players, what we're going to get. So I don't know where that's come from. It's just absolutely nonsense, really. And I think really we'll trade down by picks anyway because we've got so many holes to fill up that we need as many picks, and we need to use as much of that cap money as possible to get the squad going. Because I must admit, watching that game yesterday, I was absolutely embarrassed to be a Bears fan. All them coaches, that war tanking at its most obvious. I didn't believe in tanking until yesterday, but that were absolutely tanking. And them coaches and the GM should hang their heads in shame. I know we all want the number 1 draft pick, and I know it's important, but for fuck's sake, it's like you're conning the Bears fans. I mean, Dan and Aldo went to that game. They must have spent a fortune going there. And it was like watching a bad pre-season game. I were absolutely livid. So that's why I had to come on today, because it's just been burning me all day, that has.
I believe it. And I'm only playing devil's advocate because I don't believe in what I'm saying here, but I'm only posing the question to start the conversation of the people out there that believe that we should start over again and trade this pick or trade Justin Fields, I should say, to regain draft capital from that because of the naysayers out there that believe that he is not a passing quarterback, that he's only a running quarterback, that he's not going to be able to develop properly into a passing quarterback. And I'm going to go around the horn. I'll go to you next, Cliff. Do you believe that he has the ability to transpire into a passing quarterback? I'll go from you to back to Chris.
All right, I look at Lamar and the way he started his career. His first year or two, he's a running quarterback. He couldn't throw to hit the broadside of a barn. Now, he's still not the best passer in the league, but he's a lot better than he was. And if Lamar can do it, Justin can do it. I watched Justin's press conference after the game, He was not happy to be sitting on the sideline. He wanted to play. He wanted to get that record for rushing. He's a winner. He's a player. He cares about the game with so many mental features and with his physical attributes. I don't see anybody else besides Justin leading our team into the next winning generation.
Number one,
No, Matt.
I told people this at the very beginning of the season that it was going to be up and down for a second year quarterback with a second offensive coordinator with a bunch of new pieces around them that aren't top shelf receivers. Number one, you got a line that's got shotgun holes in it at times and really couldn't hold up in pass protection. And this is me explaining, not trying to make excuses for Justin Fields. He does need to get better in his quick game, his mechanics in the quick game, and kind of throwing guys open. He does. But all of that being said, there was a lot of reasons why you would understand why a quarterback can get apprehensive behind that offensive line, couldn't you? Isn't that reasonable? You can understand why he failed to release a ball when the receivers were in tight coverage, given the situation. This is all stuff that you would expect for a second-year quarterback in the first year in a West Coast offense, which is heavy. I keep telling people that over and over again, but you can't stop people from jumping to conclusions. What I've seen overall is a guy that I know that wants it, and that's the main thing. That motherfucker wants it. Anybody that doubts that hadn't been watching or paying close attention. That motherfucker wants it, and he's gonna fix whatever it is that he needs to fix. And that dude is just gonna ascend and get better and better and better. So all that nonsense, man, kick rocks with that bullshit about us not having the right quarterback. Man, get the fuck out of here.
Chris?
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree what you fellas have been saying, really. I mean, when he were in Ohio, he want a run first quarterback at all, He want a pass first quarterback. And you just got to think, it ain't just Justin Fields. You got to think of it's all a combination of poor offensive line play and also the receivers he's had to throw to. I mean, we haven't really got a true number one. I don't think Moody's a number one receiver, personally. I think he'd be a good number two and maybe in the slot. So you got to think, well, they haven't got the receivers really to start off with, but I just think he's one of these people wants to improve all the time. And I think a lot of people think once players go from college to the NFL, and that's it. Players can still improve. They're still going to get coached. And I believe that Justin Fields is going to work his ass off in the offseason with whoever we bring in wide receivers. And I think he's going to improve.
I'm gonna end this by saying that I think that Justin Fields has improved tremendously over the course of time that he's been playing in the NFL. I think that the fact that he has learned a brand new offense 3 out of the last 4 years or something kind of shows the mental skill that he has. He's a smart kid. I think if you give him that offense 2 years in a row, he's going to do nothing but ascend in it. I will say, he has had a great season as far as getting better in the passing game, getting better as a pocket quarterback, getting better as he wasn't a running quarterback. And he relied on his instincts to just take off and start running with the ball because he realized that's what he did best on the field. But then over the course of the season, he got better and better progressively in the passing game, better and better as a pocket passer. But I think that the one thing, if I had to make any critique about, and listen, I've been jerking off Justin Fields from the beginning of the season, but we all have to take, everything with a grain of salt, and we have to put everything into perspective, and we have to say, okay, he's not perfect, right? Everyone can even critique anything that Walter Payton did. They could pick out a bad play or a fumble or something he did wrong in that moment. So you can't just if you're going to watch the highlights of someone on YouTube to find out they're a good player, go and watch the lowlights. Go watch a game, not just the highlights. Is kind of my point, right? So if I had to critique Justin Fields, I just wish he had a quicker release, meaning that he got the ball out of his hand quicker, no matter what fashion that is. If it's timing and rhythm in the passing, or if it's just the release of the ball out of his hand, I just want to see a little quicker release. That's the one thing that I look for in quarterbacks is the quick release, because that develops over time. No matter what happens with a quarterback, if you have the quick release, you're going to be able to develop your quarterbacking skills around that per se. So I just wish if I had to make one critique, just get the wrist down. Just get the flick of the wrist down. Get that ball out of your hand quicker with the wrist, not the arm. The wrist, the flick, not the arm, the flick.
Let me
And
tell you something.
I think that's going to come in time.
Let me tell you something, man. Any team with a setup that Justin Fields had, and the offense, and the situation that he had, that could average 30 points against some good ass fucking defenses, there is something good going on there. I promise you that. All the mechanical stuff, the technical stuff, clean that stuff up. It takes time. Nobody is perfect overnight. He'll get there. But
It takes time.
If that's the only hiccup that people have with Justin Fields is his mechanics in the quick game and the short passing game and all that kind of stuff, I take that every day damn week, twice on Sunday, motherfucker. Give me that.
Easily workable. Aaron Rodgers had a real high. He held the ball real high coming out of college. He didn't have that same release that he has now. Aaron Rodgers has like such a quick release. That didn't happen in the beginning. It took time to develop that. We've already seen Justin Fields developing that over the course of this past couple of years. It's getting better. That's why I don't have any lost confidence that it's not going to happen. I'm just saying that's the one. If I had to fucking critique anything, it would be that. Because you can't just, suck dick all the time. You got to find something to find a flaw in the game that he could work on. Because if you're not doing that, you're not a real fan. You're just sucking dick all the time, right?
How about this? Low side versus the upside. What's your difference, Shorty? What's the difference between the very high side and the low side?
Hold on a second. I got Bellissimo saying, go back, Kitty. Quick release. Bellissimo, dude, I have. I trust me. I've been making all 22 videos. I have, and that's why I'm saying this. The release has gotten better, but listen. I'm not shitting on him, Bellissimo. I'm just saying, if I had to pick one thing to say get better at, work on that. That's all.
Well,
Go ahead.
Let's not turn it all into this whole thing into. We'll get lost in the weeds talking about criticism of Justin and what he needs. We'll get that shit'll carry on for a day. I mean, there's a lot of good things to look forward to. I mean, put that to the side, put it in a file cabinet. We know that. There's a lot of good shit to look forward to. His upside his ceiling is way higher than all the shit we complaining about, man. So to me, that's where it's at.
Right. Justin improved this year. He's going to improve next year. Next year, they're going to have better players. They're going to be in the second year of the offense with half the team, and the other half that come in are generally going to be better players. So he's going to have more time in the pocket. The coaches are going to be more relaxed because it's their second year. Speaking of that, did you guys see that 2 teams are going to interview Ian Cunningham for GM job? I think it's Titans and Cardinals.
Wow, good for him, man.
You had to know that was coming. I mean, the guy, he probably shouldn't be an assistant GM. To me, the perfect scenario would be for him to ascend to the GM spot and put Ryan Poles as the manager of football operations or president of football operations or something, and keep him, because I think they're a really good duo together as far as they put their heads together, and I just like what they have right now. But we'll see what happens. But that would be my move if I had a say in it.
The position is open, right?
Right.
Chris, stop looking like a statue. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. About what?
It's your time to talk, buddy.
About that beer you got. What kind you got?
I'm just going for that sort of like, caveman look at the moment because it's really cold over here. And when you step out, you just think, I just can't be arsed shaving today. Oh, it's too fucking cold. So I'm trying to fucking insulate myself because nobody can afford to pay the electricity over in this country. We're all screwed at the moment in the UK for money. So I'm trying to do like natural insulation. But yeah, regarding like Fields and that, you can't tell me that any of the quarterbacks that are in the draft are better than Justin Fields. Well, if they come out of the draft, if the Bears picked the so-called top QBs at a QB, then he's not going to be straight away better than Justin Fields. And I don't think the QBs in this draft are particularly that great anyway. I don't think there's like standing names or anything what sort of like gets you massively excited apart from the kid from Kentucky. I do like him. Go AC. But like, yeah, I mean, regarding the back office, yeah, I mean, I think it's just how it goes in this business, isn't it? Really, if you show that you do well, you're going to get pushed by another team, and if it's a step up the ladder for the guy, then you can't knock it. It would be a shame, but it is a bit of a shame because obviously this off season being so important, and they've got so many of these big decisions to make with the draft and the big cap space. Then it's just a bit of a bad timing for us as per usual, but. No, I mean that's my thoughts on it. Really, I mean, I'm just sort of like I'm scared. I don't know why. It's just sort of, it's just I wanted us to get the first draft, but how they did it were absolutely disgusting. I thought on the pitch yesterday, how them coaches that Dan Pittman played, and then as soon as Dan were on about this on one of their shows last night, Dan and Alder, as soon as I found out that Houston were winning. They took off Peterman, put in that kid called Boyle, wherever the fuck he's come from, and it was so obvious what they were doing. Yeah, it was so obvious what they were doing, and I think that was quite disrespectful to us fans, and especially people who have actually gone to the ground to watch the game and spent the money. You're expecting to at least see a team try. I mean, it was like watching like the third pre-season game or something. It were absolutely dreadful. So yeah, I'm just trying to simmer down a bit, man, because I just think that like that. I know we want that pick, but man, that was just such a fucking embarrassing way to do it yesterday. I thought.
That kind of leads me into a little thing I wanted to do here. But Kenny, let's go ahead and run that. Listen, we started a GoFundMe for this fucker right here. Kenny, run that shit. Let's get this fucking greasy, blonde-haired fucking Doors fan to Soldier Field to see the Bears, guys. Come on. Let's do it. I'll put the link in the description for the GoFundMe for this guy over here. No, not that because that's actually Cliff. So that's gonna have to be that way.
All right. I'm going to the game.
It's always the wrong direction for that fucker right there.
Come on, Cliff.
Let's get Chris Watts. Come on, a $5 donation. Anything helps. We're trying to get him here next year for a Bears game. Yeah. Let's do it, guys. Come on.
Hey, Chris, if you go to the same game I'm planning on going to next year, I'll buy you some beers, definitely.
Hold on a second. Barellissimo.
I'll return that as well.
This is not a shit take on field, Barellissimo. This is a simple, all I was trying to say, listen, people take things completely out of perspective. All I was saying was I was trying to play the devil's advocate for people that think that way. I don't. Just so you know, Barellissimo, I do not feel this way about Justin Fields. None of us here do. I'm simply trying to put the narrative out there for the people in chat here that do have that feeling, because somebody has to, we can't all just be, there has to be some opposite thinking. And I'm not opposite thinking. I'm just putting it out there for the people who think differently. That's all. I love Justin Fields. I want him to be the Bears quarterback for the next fucking 20 years. Everyone else here does. Just so everyone knows that. But to sit here and say he's, perfect would be like, it'd be foolish. So it's there has to be some constructive criticism to anyone on the team.
Well, hold on. Let me.
I'll just quickly say something. Bellissimo, to a fellow Englishman, stop being so fucking anal and see the bigger picture, mate. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm going to say. Fuck you, man. Grow up and stop being so anal.
From one Brit to another.
You know what I mean?
Isn't there a word from Britain on a guy like that? What would that word be?
A wanker.
Anal, tosser, wanker, knobhead.
Don't be a wanker, Bellissimo.
And Bellissimo, I'm just kidding. I love what you do.
I'm kidding too, Bellissimo. I love you too.
I just wanted to.
I'm not kidding at all. Fuck you, man. I'm not kidding at all, man. Stop being anal and stop pissing Dad off as well, man. You know what I mean? You piss Dad off. I know where you live. I'll bring the boys down and we'll sort it out face to face, motherfucker. No, man, you come down with me as well because you sound like a really hard bastard. So me and you will go down and show him what's what. Don't mess with the normal Bellissimo.
Oh my God.
I'm picturing the Kingsman bar scene from the movie. He locks the door and turns around.
No violence, man. No violence, man.
Chris is the host now, Kitty. Just give it over to Chris.
Sorry, Dan. Sorry, mate. And sorry, Bellissimo. I'm only half joking. I'm only half serious, but I'm not. I am absolutely serious. You know what I mean? But no, sorry to take up so much time, Dan. Sorry, mate.
I ain't fucking with Chris, boy. I know not to fuck with him now, boy. I ain't fucking with him at all.
Hey, don't let the long hair fool you, man. You know what I mean? Come and do it. Right then, you're on, mate. You're on. I'll find out where you live, motherfucker. And I'll come down with boys from the north and we'll kick your head in.
Oh my God.
Did an episode of Peaky Blinders just happen right there? What the fuck just happened?
I think I was just watching Snatch or something.
Sorry, Dad. Sorry, mate.
Please do not be sorry. That was fucking hilarious.
That was good. That was epic right there.
Hey, man, was from the heart,
I'm sorry,
man.
Bellissimo, man. We ain't trying to. We ain't trying to start no shit, man. It was just a little difference of opinion.
Fuck you, no, man. I am. What you on about? I'm starting off there. I want a bit of a rumble, man. I'm in moves. No, I'm only joking, Bellissimo.
I'm gonna moderate this.
I'm only joking with you.
Bellissimo.
I gotta send Chris one of my big girls to calm him down a little bit or something.
Apparently, you and him are not friends, Bellissimo. Nothing to do with you and I.
Get me some big booty. I want the big booty, no, man.
Guys in the chat, thanks for watching the Jerry Springer show. You're on BCP.
Right, I'm off.
Oh my God.
That only happens on the barroom, man. Golly.
I've never seen that side of you, Chris. That's fucking hilarious.
Mate, if anybody has to go at anybody I like or class as a friend, that's it, the foot. They cross the line with me and that's it. Once they cross that line, brother, that's it, man. You know what I mean? He's from fucking Tamworth, for fuck's sake.
Go fund me for you, buddy.
Shots fired.
Yeah, cheers, man.
Hey, I have a trivia
Fuck
question.
you.
All right, come on, calm down, guys. Calm down, guys.
Hey, Shorty.
Billy, calm down. Chris, calm down.
Let him up. See what you look like, mate. You got no chance. Anyway, that's it for me. I'm not saying no more on that subject, dickhead.
You're a feisty little fucker, aren't you, Chris?
All right. Hey,
I am today,
Shorty,
mate. I don't know what's up with me today.
Oh God! What, Cliff?
All right, you've got that trivia calendar. So I came up with a trivia question for you and the other guys. Would you like to change? Would you like to change the topic now?
Yes.
All right.
please.
Okay.
Before Chris
As we-
punches his fucking phone or his computer or something.
All right, I'm going to try to stump all of you with this one. As we know by now, the last time the Bears had the first pick in the draft was 1947. Can you guys name who that pick was?
Oh,
Hell no.
God.
Jack
I knew you wouldn't be
Steinbrenner.
able to.
Fuck you,
I ain't
Cliff.
damn glad.
Here,
You got
here,
it.
I'll give you
You got
I'll
it.
give you a I'll
Who
give
is
you a clue. I'll give you a clue. It was the blonde bomber.
Oh, fuck. Who's the blonde? Oh, fuck. I still can't get it. Go ahead.
All right, the guy's name is Bob Fenimore. He was a half. Bob Fenimore. He was a halfback. He played everything. He played offense. He played defense. He had interceptions. He was on the Bears.
Leo
for a
Factor
total
says, I know
of
it's a running back. Of course it
one
was.
season. He was on one season, then he was gone out of football. Last number one pick the Bears had 1 year.
Don't nobody alive know that.
Hey, I'm older than you guys. I was almost alive.
Wait,
Oh,
you went it well, Cliff.
Thank you.
Lynn's
Yes,
got
I'm
your
80.
back, Cliff. Yeah, Lynn's got your back. He said he only played 1 year.
Lynn said, you guys are obsessed with butt, aren't you? You goddamn right, Lynn. You goddamn right. I need some
Do
pics.
that.
Right away.
Yeah, what man isn't obsessed with ass?
Now here to
And
finish
every
this
time my
off.
wife bends over, I'm like, hey, baby.
Definitely.
We can't even fucking help it.
To finish this off, all right, the Bears in 19 after that draft pick, they went 8-4, and then the year after that, they went 10-2.
Okay, so what are you saying?
I'm
doesn't
saying
matter?
that's our future. You know, a winning season next year, playoffs the year after that.
Oh, okay, good.
Hey, you know what? To put a bow on this whole Justin Fields shit, all you have to do is close your eyes and answer one question. And if you come away with anything other than yes, something's fucking wrong with you. All you have to do is close your eyes and say, is Justin Fields a bad motherfucker or no?
He's a dog.
He's a
Exactly.
bad motherfucker.
Case dismissed. Next.
Bad motherfucker.
He's a bad motherfucker.
He is a bad motherfucker. If only Barrelissimo could have stuck around to hear us say that.
How many times in your life have you been able to say that about a Bears quarterback? Ever?
Once.
Back to McMahon.
Jim McMahon.
Yeah, he was a bad motherfucker. So I regret saying that.
Yeah, but Jim McMahon, man.
He was a bad motherfucker. At one point, I really liked.
Sorry, no, man. I didn't want to scare you at all. You know, I'm calmed down now.
No, Chris, that was fucking epic. I gotta tell you, that was absolutely fucking epic. Cheers to you, mate.
I don't even. J2K is saying Barrelissimo's
no worries,
point.
mate. Anybody start?
I don't know what his point was.
Hold on. So, what was his point? His point that he thought I was shitting on Justin Fields, and then Chris was just trying to. Chris came out of like a bulldog out of the fucking darkness, trying to fucking back me up. Don't fuck with my
man.
friend. It was awesome.
I know people like him. You know what I mean? He's one of these people.
I wasn't shitting on.
If he knows it or he don't.
Froze up.
Who's scared of the other neighbor children? That was a good one, though. He said, "Who's scared of you other than the neighborhood children?"
You know, just to flip.
All right, don't start. No, we're not starting this again. No, moving on.
Just to flip the script, man. I don't believe, and I told people this before, and I said it somewhere in a chat. I'm a very instinctual person. I trust my instincts because my instincts have saved my life. Whenever I've ignored my instincts, I almost died or got into some really unfortunate situation where I wished I had listened to him. But since then, I 100% trust my instincts. If my spidey senses haven't tingled this much since we tried that Devin Hester draft, I knew that they were building something good then. This is the same feeling I'm having right now. It doesn't come often. I'm telling you guys right now, we got the right infrastructure. We have the right coach. We have the right GM and the quarterback. All the entire operation is set up now to be, we're going to go up, man. I'm trying to tell you guys, you can be as skeptical as you want to be. You can be pessimistic. You can be all that. But I'm telling you guys right now, my instincts don't fucking lie to me. I'm telling you, we're on our way.
How many times have you been jealous of that team that was in this position right now? That had
Too many times.
like, oh my, fuck! They got their quarterback and they have the first pick in the draft. I wish I was that team. You know, that's us right now. That's the first time it's happened in our entire life. So, fucking bring it on, baby.
We're blessed beyond our means, man, and we don't even know it.
It's gonna be the most epic, fun off season for all of us, and we're all gonna just rock it out, having so much fun talking about all this shit. Every one of us, Barrissimo, fucking Swifty, the Barroom Network, Bears Country Productions, everyone, fucking Unbearable Sports, Lynn Hayden's gonna have a fucking blast talking about this team next year. Every one of us, we're gonna just blow up in this, whatever your time frame is. Lynn starts when the off season.
Stephen me talking about in there. Nomad wanted Fields gone after the Washington game when Carson Wentz beat us. What is that? Huh? That's your take at satire, motherfucker? What are you talking about?
Yeah, where did that come from? Nomad wasn't even on this show then. Were you saying that in Twitter?
Well, I don't know what he's trying to be funny, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
It better not get me going again. It better not get me going. Stephen, don't get me going, brother.
Stephen, don't get him protecting his Nomad.
I'm backing him up.
Hey man, I can't protect y'all from Chris for that. I can't protect y'all from Chris that much longer. Shut the fuck up in the chat now. I don't want him out here fucking y'all up for no reason.
I'm like a little ankle biter.
Yeah, look like Chris like an ankle biter meme.
Somebody just asked me, Nomad, what is that gives you confidence more because of fields or poles? Both.
I'm gonna take a week while you answer this question.
No, I just you can just, my instincts tell me everything I need to know. And I watch not like your average fan watches. Your average Bears fan, they get all wrapped up into the hurrah and the hoopla of the games and all. Listen, I watch the finite details of how they put the shit together. I watch how they make the sausage. That's why I'm so confident in Poles and Eberflus. I know they have the right people there. I played in the very system that Eberflus is laying down in Chicago. I know what it takes to get that system up and running and get it really effective so that you can start winning games. They don't have all the pieces to it. That's why it looks so shoddy. And so far as Poles go, Poles is basically, I love the marriage that he has with Eberflus. Everybody thinks Poles is just making these moves unilaterally. No, every good GM and coach relationship is engineered by the coach. The coach is asking for these certain things, and the GM is going out there and buying the groceries because in the end, the coach has to cook the meal, and he's letting them know what he needs. And Ryan Poles is just going out there and answering the bell. So yes, I have nothing but the utmost confidence in those two guys, and I know we're on the right track.
I think we're on the same page there. I listened to you in chat and okay, go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
No, you finish your point, Cliff, please.
Okay, on the same page because I feel the same way. I mean, I've watched the Bears play since I was 8 years old, something like that. So over 50 years, I've seen a lot of the bad. I saw the good in '85, and I've got that same feeling that we're heading for something special now. The stars are aligning, as the show says, with the money, the first pick. In waivers, we have the first waiver pick as well when we get into the new season. So that's going to be important. What do you think, Chris?
I mean, my thoughts about Eberflus has sort of changed over this last sort of month. I mean, I was really high on the guy, but I just think if I were a player who's played for him this year, I'd be pissed off with him. Especially after yesterday's game. You know, he's got this hits principle, you know, and, you know, he's saying all this, but then they're sort of calling a game where we're tanking. So is he like a bit two-faced? I don't know. But I mean, it's an upgrade from Nagy, and I can't really feel like I can give him a fair sort of comment until like next season, until after this off season where, you know, we see what we've got as a squad. But I don't know, this last sort of month or so, I've got a little bit down on the guy really. But it's like you say, Cliff, though, it's how things are lining up with the draft and the cap money and all that. Then, you know, hopefully, you know, it's going to be our time. And he just come over to me last sort of month. I think, you know, it seems to me like he's been told by, you know, after when they lost the Cowboys, that was me sort of showed a bit of a change in the approach to how they coach the game and how they call the game, especially in offense. And out by the Cowboys, just went right. We'll go to attack mode, and I don't know. I mean, if I were a player, I'd be a little bit pissed off for the guy. To be honest with you.
You know, I think I understand exactly where Chris is going. I understand what I've seen that what Chris is saying. I've seen that many a times in chats. I even heard Aldo and Dan talk about it last night on their live show. And it's a tough spot if you're a head coach and you've been laying the standard down for the whole season and the foundation for what you want your team to be. At the end of the day, we have to remember this is a business, and you would think, and I know for a fact the players understand the situation he's given, and they know it's a business, and sometimes decisions have to be made that, you know, everybody around you won't be so in agreement with, and you have to make them anyway. It's hard shit. You have hard decisions that you have to make. I understand it from a fan's perspective. Like, you know, everybody feels cheated. People that bought tickets to the game and all that, you know, players that wanted to go out there and perform and put some good stuff on tape because they know they're going to be free. I understand it all, but there are hard decisions that have to be made. And you as a coach, you have to walk in conviction and know that you're making the best decision, not for just right this second, but for later on down the line. I think that's the hard position that Flus found itself in this last game.
Kenny, can you pull up that the last chat from J2K?
Yeah, I agree with that, but
J2K says, why? Tearing down is easy. Building it back up is the hard part, and Poles hasn't done any of that yet. I understand why there's confidence in Poles. In my opinion, he's to be determined.
Go ahead. I'm on.
I'll let you go. I'm just going to say that this guy came in here with 5 picks and turned it into 11 or 12 or something. And if you don't think he's going to do that with the first pick in this draft, and he's going to turn that into like 12 or 18 picks, I mean, that's the one thing that I think that we have gained confidence in is that Poles is exactly the opposite of Pace. Not only is he black because Pace was white, but he's fucking a trader downer as to where Poles was a trader upper, and he's a completely different fucking GM than this guy. He has actual football experience. He was an offensive lineman in the NFL. What was Pace? A fucking marathon runner? I think he played in college a little bit, but he never made it to the NFL. And, you know, Pace never demonstrated the ability to build a team through the draft. As much as he tried to say he was going to do it, he never drafted quarterbacks. He never traded down to get more picks. He always traded up. He always gave away the future. Poles in the short amount of time that we've seen him has demonstrated that he's willing to do whatever to do the things that other teams have made myself envious of, to go, fuck, I wish the Bears would have done like something like that. Like when Pace first came in, I said, trade Forte, trade so-and-so, see what you can get for him and get more picks to build through the draft. But Pace never did that. He always traded up. And now we have, in 1 seasons of experience with Poles, I'm confident that moving forward, he's going to turn whatever we have now into a gold mine of draft picks.
Let me say this, man, and J2K, to you personally, man. I don't want you to ever think because I disagree with you and some of the stuff that you say. I don't ever want you to think and take it personal, like as if I don't like you. I don't know you, but I definitely do not. It's not that. What I would have to say to that is, I watch people like Jordan Silvera and guys that had these preconceived notions of what the Bears should do from the second that guy got in the building, and it didn't quite fall out the way that these two guys believe that Ryan Poles should have went. And since then, it's been an onslaught, constant, just critical of Ryan Poles and all this stuff. And it's just like, man, what do you mean? What has he proven? Have you given him a chance yet? He just got here. This was his route to go about reestablishing what the Bears should prioritize on the season. No, he didn't go out and do a whole hell of a lot in free agency and load up Justin Fields with weapons and do all the stuff that you think he should have done. However, in your unprofessional opinion versus a professional who's looking at a spreadsheet of 5 to 7 years down the road with accountants and all that kind of stuff that professional GMs do, our opinion is pretty much nothing. I would say back off for a minute, give the guy some time and some space to do what he came to do, instead of being so goddamn critical all the time. Back off, man.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the things that Poles did this year that we all saw, he was willing to dump top name big players to fix the salary cap situation. I was amazed that in 1 year we went from being at the top of the cap to having the most money in the NFL. And then look at the players that he took in the draft. You know, his first 2 picks, definitely serviceable, possibly future Pro Bowl defensive players. Vellis was looking better towards the end of the season. Maybe there's a chance he comes around. You go to free agency. He picks up Sanborn in free agency. He got Jalen Jones. So he has done things this year with what he had to work with. And he has made the future a lot better.
And to be honest, guys, I thought going into Khalil Mack's final year of the Pace regime, I thought that Pace should have traded him then to try to get even more draft capital that he could have gotten, that Poles could have gotten, because we hadn't seen what we expected out of Mack at that point. His best game was his first game. And it never really transpired to the player that we traded for at that point. And I was, like I said, an advocate for the final year of Pace's regime to trade him. They would have gotten more for him then. That would have been a lot better. But I'm glad that this regime, the Poles regime, has realized that draft capital is what matters the most. And they've been kind of treating it like the Dallas Cowboys of the 90s, where they're just like, sell off what we can sell off at high, right? And I think that's kind of what has some of the people, the fans of the team, worried about, is that he's going to sell off Justin Fields while he's high, right? Before while he can get the top dollar for him, if he thinks he's a bust, and then he can move on to drafting a quarterback in this draft or whatever. And I'm not saying I agree with that. I'm just saying, that's why I think some of the fans have that narrative. But Chris, Foster covers. He's a huge barroom guy. He's been to the barroom events. He wants you to say hi to his sister Linda because she loves your accent. So say hi, Linda.
Hi, Linda. How you doing?
There you go, Foster covers, just for you, buddy.
And for
Foster covers, and I love Foster covers as well. He's an awesome guy.
And really quickly to J-Rock, No, he hasn't really proven anything yet. He just got here. All I'm saying is I'm willing to give him space and time to do it. And all I'm doing is asking you all as fans, just like I am, I'm just the same as you. Give him time, give him some space, man. And I don't feel the need to be extra critical towards the guy right now. Even if he makes a move that I don't necessarily agree with, I don't know what's in his head. I don't know how he sees the future with his 5 to 7 year budget with his account. I just don't know. I can have my opinion, or I can just back off and see where he's going with it. And I choose to back off and see.
100%
I
agree.
mean, got to give the guy that he's got. Hey, Dan, you got to give it to the guy that's definitely got balls. I mean, to sort of come in your first year and get rid of them, big name players like he has done. I mean, that's the difference between him and Pace. Pace wasn't like that in his personality at all. And Paul's this way, he's just gone, looked at it with no emotion, looked at the bank sheet and thought, we need to do this. It's going to be a shit year. But, year 2, 3, 4, like Nomad said, then, we're going to get our stock rising again. And it has been miserable. I mean, it's been hard doing the shows, you know what I mean? Like, when I've been doing a tailgate show, every week we're talking about the same thing, and it's sort of like, it has been very, very frustrating. But I'm exactly like Nomad says. I just keep thinking, just a fella this year, I've got a gym next year and the year after, and see where he takes us.
Yeah, there's been such an explosion of quarterbacks in the league over the last, 5 seasons that have just blown up in the first year or two that have taken the league by storm, and everyone expects that to happen now. And there used to be a time where the quarterback was developed underneath the current starting quarterback, i.e. Aaron Rodgers, i.e. even Brett Favre. You look at Tom Brady, fucking Patrick Mahomes. They sat a year behind the quarterbacks or more that were preceded them. So
3 years for Rodgers.
we had a false narrative quarterback a head coach who was, didn't know what the fuck he was doing and put him in there in the wrong situations almost to fail, right? And then now we're starting over again in his second year. I think that the jump that we've seen from game 1 of his career until game, the last game that we saw is a marked difference. And the fact that he probably could have played this past week and wanted to play, I think says a lot about him. That's the kind of guy that we want as our quarterback. He has the moxie. He has the drive. He has the guts. Yeah, he's willing to play through injury. That's the guy we want. Anyone who's looking to, again, going back to the Barrelissimo thinking I'm shitting on him, I'm not. I'm just, the narrative of other people is I'm trying to just put that out there because there are people that have that voice. I'm just trying to give them that voice. Don't agree with it. And I'm trying to find the reasons to say why I don't.
All I know is we have way too much shit to look forward to be catfighting with each other about different opinions and I don't, man, it's really, for me, it's really, I'm so optimistic and so positive in the way I think as far as this team goes. I probably fall in the category of, oh man, you're a little too optimistic. Yeah, I'll take that because I do believe in what these guys are doing. I think what I'm seeing is exactly what I was hoping to see. I watched it closely and I do my homework and I stand on something when I speak. I just believe in what they're doing from the GM all the way down to the foundation they've laid with the players. I just know there's no need for us to we don't always have to agree with everything all the time, but constantly sniping and taking shots just because the moves that you want to be made aren't being made, the decisions that you want to be made aren't being made. That is just flat out unfair, man. And that's kind of where my energy is when I'm talking to certain things.
Right. Understandably. Because it's all opinionated then at that point.
Right.
I think
everyone's allowed to have their own opinions.
There's a lot more going on behind the scenes. Watching what the players and the coaches say and watching what they don't say, I know that in their private meetings, they all knew they were tanking. They all knew that the future is where it's at. And how hard is it to have a microphone shoved in your face and have to say to skirt around the truth? And that's what they had this past like 4-6 weeks. So I'm looking for, if you watched Eberflus's most recent press conference and you watched Justin's, they're finally starting to say things that are actually true now after having to prevaricate for over a month. So it makes me happy, and it also makes me happy that in private they know what's going on and they're not fooled themselves.
Kenny, can you bring up the Bellissimo question? He said, Shorty, who do you want? It's up. Where is it? Here it is. I got it. Shorty, do you want Shorty? I'm a big boy. I know what I know. Wait, do you want Shorty? I'm a big. Never mind. I thought he was asking
do what you want. Do what you want.
Oh, do what you want, Shorty. I'm a big boy. I know what I know. I thought I read that incorrectly.
Brush it off, man.
Not bad.
Brush it off.
No, I read that incorrectly. I thought he was asking me a question. I'm sorry.
Let me offer an apology to J2K. And you're right, J2K. I should not lump you in a category with somebody I do have a problem with. And I do apologize to you for that. That was unfair, man. I apologize.
Hey, I agree with Chat. I disagree with Chat, and we all still stay friends. You know, we all love the Bears.
Yeah, God.
Vernon Roseman jumps in the chat. Don't ever think you are too optimistic. You'll lose focus. Thank you, Vernon. Vernon's the
let's
gentleman
talk to the chat. I love it.
who I work with. Yeah, me too. Vernon is the gentleman that I worked with the Bears. I worked for the Bears with when we were doing the press pass in the media. We worked for the media room. It was amazing. So Vernon joined us on a podcast about what it was like to work for the Bears. That was a great time. He's going to join us a little bit more coming in the future on Bears Country Productions because he has some good insider Bears info because he used to work for the Bears a lot more than I did. So thank you for joining us, Vernon. This is a great show tonight, guys. I mean, this is the chat's blowing up. Everyone's got a lot of shit to say. we saw a Chris Watts explosion. It's been awesome.
Hey, love us or hate us, we're gonna bring it real 100% every fucking time.
Well, his last comment completely illustrated my point. That's all I'm going to say about it. You know what I mean? But we're all Bears fans. And Bellissimo, I'm only taking a piss, mate. You know what I mean? But we're all Bears fans, and I know I think it's just because it's been a frustrating season, really. You know what I mean? And I feel like all the frustration, I'm venting it tonight. Maybe I need to smoke a big fat joint at some point and maybe chill myself down. But nah, listen, if I've upset you, mate, I apologise. It was just in jest.
You are not upsetting me at all, my friend. I think of it like sitting on a couch. I think of it like sitting on a couch with my buddies. You know, I mean, are you always overly polite with your friends around you? No, you're like, you're a moron. You don't know what you're talking about. And you know, I mean, it doesn't mean you don't like your buddy. It just means that you, at the moment, think he's a moron and doesn't know what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The chat is all confused. They over there. Chris got mad, and then nobody understand what the hell he was talking about. But they understood the cuss word. Cliff over there looking like Mr. Miyagi and shit. It's all crazy.
and Lynn Hayden says the Bears win the Super Bowl in Vegas in 2024, baby. If the Bears go to the Super Bowl in 2024 and we are going to Vegas, we're going to hook up with fucking Lynn Hayden and go stay out there and hang out with Lynn Hayden for the Super Bowl. I know that much. She's so much fucking fun. We love you, Lynn.
Oh, she's awesome.
Can we stay at your house? Can we stay at your house, Lynn?
Hi, Lynn.
So, Lynn, I'm just going to come out and tell you. So, Nomad wanted to do a little bit with you where, like, you were in a bubble bath with your toe sticking out of the top of the bubbles, and you were smoking a blunt. And you were like,
You're not supposed to tell him what happened in the green room, motherfucker. What you doing?
and then Nomad was like, "Hey, how you doing, baby?" she said, "You bet, baby."
What you doing, man? That's cutting room floor shit. You telling you ain't supposed
Hey,
to tell him
man.
that shit.
I tried to get that shit. I tried to arrange that, but she's a busy woman, so it was hard to get her on the line to get her on the show to do that. So let's just fucking. This is the last show. We're letting it all hang out, baby.
She's clutching her pearls right now. She's like, "Hey, excuse me, man. I'm a lady. I don't play that shit."
Oh, Lynn does.
Lynn, you know how much I love you. Listen, Lynn, if you go smoke a big ass joint or a blunt, if you want to join us, you are welcome to. I'll give you the link. I know you won't jump in, but just to let you know, you're welcome to. Because I love her, man. She's the best.
Come on, Lynn.
Hey, you guys, y'all get ready. This is day one of the off season for us. Good Lord, there's going to be a lot of movement going on. There's going to be a lot of shit going on. And it's going to be times where I'm going to be tempted to call him Mr. Shorty and say, "Hey, man, we need to do a quick one." Because I just know how crazy this off season is going to be. And I'm at home. I'm doing a lot of homework. I'm studying guys round the clock pretty much, it feels like. And I know all those going to come pull something right out of his asshole and say, "Hey, Nomad, Shorty, let's do a show." I want to be ready for whatever comes my way as far as this barroom thing goes, because we're blessed to be there. Mm-hmm. And I just do my shit. I'm not a paid scout. None of us are, but I know my shit when I talk. And so that I'm just getting ready and getting prepared for what's coming our way.
Hey, Nomad, you always do sound like you know what you're on about, mate.
I try to be, man. I try. I work at it.
But between free agency, waivers, and the draft, we're going to have a lot to talk about and dissect. I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it. Because if Poles and Cunningham and the Bears do it right, we're going to have a winning team next year, or at the very least, a lot better than the team we had now. So I cannot wait for this offseason so we can analyze, like Nomad's saying. He analyzes. He knows the stuff. So let's see it over the next few months.
Won't be nothing boring about this shit.
Lynn, we love you so much too, and I'm so glad you're high and watching us. And you're watching the bad college playoff game that I'm also watching right now as we speak. In fact, I wanted to wrap this up to watch the rest of this, but it might not be worth watching. I don't know.
What's the score? What's the score, Dan?
They're at a commercial now. I don't know.
38-7 in the chat, Steven.
Oh, there you go.
What?
That.
God. Wow.
38-7? Really?
To Georgia, I take it.
Yeah, I did want to watch some of that game too. 38-7. That's brutal.
Let me ask somebody in the chat, anybody that's watching the game, is Kendre Miller, the running back? Is he playing, and how's he doing?
I'm sure somebody's got an answer there. Has been paying some attention to this.
I know he had a bum ankle going into the game. I don't know if he even played or not.
Let's go. I'm going to ask a dumb question. What team does he play for?
Oh, TCU. He's the best running back in the draft. Hey, guys, you want to see the best running back in the draft? I just told you, Kendre Miller.
I'm right there with you, Chris. I'm a fucking idiot when it comes to college football.
Yeah, I am.
Once the season's over, then I pay attention.
Hey, yeah, Homer Cuts has a question for us after this topic.
Yeah, do the Bears coaches get to coach one of the Senior Bowls?
They do. Yes. They are doing.
It's my understanding that they just turned down one of the invites, whether it be the Senior Bowl, Shrine, or whatever. So they turned down an offer to coach one of those games. And some people are speculating because they're going to fire some coaches. I don't know how true that is, but that's the speculation.
Yeah, because normally it's the bottom two teams in the league that get the opportunity to coach. I think it is the Shrine game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the East-West Shrine game, yeah. But what coaches would they have to fire for them to turn that down? like the position coach? They're going to turn that down over a position coach fire?
I mean, if you're gonna go into a situation, an invite, and go and coach a whole freaking game, a whole team, you need to have your coaching staff intact, right? If they feel like it's not going to be intact, why would you accept that?
Would it be the whole coaching staff? Sorry, Cliff. Would it be the whole coaching staff anyway? Would it be the whole, the position coaches and the coordinators? Would it be the whole coaching staff which would have gone anyway?
I believe so.
Right, do.
I don't know for sure, but I do believe that's right.
Yeah, that makes sense, man.
Well, this kind of leads me into another question I want to ask each one of you guys. If you could fire the coaching, let me just start that over again. If you could hire Jim Harbaugh or Sean Payton tomorrow, I should actually take Sean Payton out of it because the Saints have said that's going to require a first-round pick, so that's not going to happen. But would you fire this coaching staff for Jim Harbaugh and Vic Fangio tomorrow?
I know. Let me answer this for you, and hopefully I speak for everybody. Fuck no. Fuck no. Neither one of those motherfuckers. No. What have they done to warrant find an entire staff that is building a great foundation with a bunch of young guys? Fuck no. Hell no.
Well, Jim Harbaugh brought the Niners to a Super Bowl, a championship, and then a Super Bowl in a couple of years. He took Michigan all the way almost to the national championship in how many years?
Man, no fucking.
And
way.
he's an ex-Bear. Hey, I'm just asking questions, guys. Don't get mad at me.
That's operating backwards, man.
Harbaugh does win where he goes, but the problem with him is how long is he going to stay there? He's got a habit of wearing out his welcome. And, do you want to coach for 2, 3, 4 years and then having him take off, go back to Michigan or something?
Not get his way with the Bears and leave and go somewhere else.
And Sean Payton, what happened to him when Breeze retired?
Exactly. I'm a bigger fan of Jim Harbaugh and what he can bring to a team than I am of Sean Payton. Sometimes you get in a situation where you just have the right kind of quarterback to lead the shit and the right defensive coordinator and players that you get in the position. And to win the Super Bowl, to be honest with you, you have to be somewhat kind of part lucky to actually win it. There's a lot of shit that goes on. I'm not as impressed with Sean Payton as I am with Jim Harbaugh. And I still think Jim Harbaugh is he's got some flaws to him, in my opinion, when it comes to different things I hear about him and his flexibility and willingness to, he wants to be the only voice kind of. And I hear that about him, and he's hard to deal with. Don't know that to be a fact, but those are the kind of things I hear about the guy. And eventually that guy's gonna wear out his welcome with the franchise. And why even go down that road if you don't have to?
Chris?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I've heard stuff about that. He's quite a nutter. He's it can be quite a strange guy, and and I think a lot of that's down to him. I just illustrated really. Regarding Sean Payton, he actually played over here in the 80s for a team called the Leicester Panthers at quarterback. Just after he'd been a scab for the Chicago, I used to do the chain on the game, so I actually stood right next to him, and he was an all right quarterback. But I do quite like him because that call he made in the Super Bowl when they did the onside kick for the kickoff of the second half, and that was genius. So, and I think he's I don't know if he's from Illinois. I'm not too sure, but regarding Jim Harbaugh, I've just said he's a bit of a nutter. That's what I've heard.
You look back at that Saints championship season. I'm sorry, man, I didn't mean to step on you, but look back at that season, and if you remember the correct way, that defensive coordinator was probably more, and those players on defense was probably more responsible for that championship than anything fucking Sean Payton had to do with. That defense was fucking dominant.
Now,
Wait, hold on a second. Bellissimo, you've said goodnight like 4 times. You just went back to, oh God, are we firing the staff again? No.
We're just
We're asking
chatting.
a
We're just
fucking
chatting.
question. It's just a question, man. It's just a question. Go to bed. Go to bed, Bellissimo. It's time to go to bed.
Bellissimo gonna whoop your ass, man.
He's gonna fight somebody tonight. I tell you that.
You're gonna whip my ass.
It'd be me for asking dumb fucking questions.
He
What
gonna
about
beat
that?
up Shorty, man.
Questions.
He gonna beat up Shorty. He gonna get that motherfucker.
I'm in
He's gonna have to
Florida.
fucking
I'm a
get
long
through
way
fucking
away.
Chris first. You're not. You're only like an hour away from me, Chris.
Yeah.
Cliff.
Bring it on,
That is
motherfucker.
true. Yeah.
So listen, I'm not trying to offend anybody or piss anybody off. These are just questions. These are what you call
Just conversation.
My best friend is like this. I present him with devil's advocate questions, and he just blows the fuck up on me in text. I'm like, dude, I'm just asking a simple question. It's just like a yes or no, like would you or wouldn't you? It's not my opinion. Just fucking relax, you know. These are just would you or wouldn't you questions. It's like the game of what's that game? Would you rather, right? It's not my opinion. They're just questions. So please don't shit on me for just asking questions that everyone's asking. We can't just sit here with the same narrative. There has to be some of the narrative that is out there in the other perspective of the world, right? Twitter, people that think this. Well, I think this. Well, people that think this. Well, let's see what the reaction is to this group of people that think this. And that's what the question posing is. So please don't take offense to it.
Maybe reefer ain't legal over there or something, man. You don't know. You need some reefers, as my grandma called them. She called them reefers.
Look, I would like to chime in for my lovely husband.
Yeah, but all we're doing is
here we go. Here we go.
We roll the back.
Yeah, Chris, you're philosophical, right? Would you say that you ponder things, pontificate philosophically from time to time?
Who?
Chris?
Oh.
What? Sorry.
he's
Sorry,
pontificating right now.
Chris smoked some reefers.
I haven't, mate. I'm straight. That's the worst thing about it. Sorry, Kit. Do you want me? Were you going to ask me a question, or did I just zone out, or everything just went dead to me on the screen? So I apologise for the dead air.
It's no problem. But I've been over to the UK, and it's a quite different, surreal environment, and it's beautiful. A lot of history there, and there's a lot to pontificate and philosophize about how it used to be and how it currently is. So I'm asking you personally, and then I'll ask everyone else. Danny, he likes to philosophize a lot. He's very philosophical.
You mean Mr. Shorty?
Mr. Shorty, I'm so sorry, honey.
You mean,
life coming out of me.
You mean Todd?
Todd, the other Dan. So I'm going to start with you, Chris. Do you find that you do that from time to time, or are you pretty just black and white, straightforward?
No, I do that all the time. That's probably one of my big problems. Is that I probably overthink some things. But like I like to think of myself that I do like to think about things before I open my mouth. Apart from obviously I haven't illustrated that tonight as much, have I really? But no, I like to think about things. I'm one of these people likes to have his own company, so I spend a lot of time sort of reading and watching the news and sort of just trying to figure out what this fucking world's about and what life's about. So yeah, I very much like your lovely husband.
Okay, Nomad.
Well, when I sometimes I smoke too much weed, and I've smoked so much weed. Sometimes I've sat long enough and thought. By the time I snap out of this cobweb and shit all around me and every fucking thing, and so I'm a deep thinker, yes, And do I pontificate much? Yes. But when I'm on a live show, I know that I have to be really short, quick with it, and all that kind of stuff to keep the shit going. So if that answers your question, I don't know.
No,
so what you're saying is don't pontificate, Mr. Shorty.
That's right. You do get deep in thought live on the goddamn show.
By the way, Laz is asking you, why do they call you Shorty? Laz, my name is Dan Shortino. So Mr. Shorty is spelled half of my last name, which is Sciortino. Fucking get that. Do that. Say that 2 times. Sciortino. Sciortia. Yeah, exactly.
Plus, he's 5'1".
Yeah,
5'1".
I'm 6'2". So all of my friends, my entire life, because my last name is Shortino, my friends have called me Shorty, which also is a play on me not being short because I'm 6'2". So everyone has always called me Shorty. My Twitter handle became Mr. Shorty when it was the only thing I could get because it would normally have been Shorty, but I had to take Mr. Shorty because apparently I was too old at that point. So it became Mr. Shorty. And then I started the podcast as Mr. Shorty. And now I'm in this fucking
you're in Todd limbo.
Right.
I'm in
you're
this
in
limbo
an identity
land.
crisis.
I'm in a fucking identity crisis.
Who he is, midlife crisis, identity. I'm just trying to shed some light to the chat of the fans of what it's like to be married to Mr. Shorty, aka Todd, aka the other Dan.
Fucking Mr. Shorty, aka fucking at Bears Country Pod, blah blah blah. So tomorrow night we're starting. Yeah, fucking Tress. Fuck you, Chris. so tomorrow night on the Barroom Network is where we begin the Bare Their Souls, the new version. And so from that point on, I'm hoping this works. I'm going to be known as the other Dan because Dan Aguirre he just refuses to call me Mr. Shorty, even though Aldo constantly calls me Mr. Shorty, even though he goes, "What's his last name?" I find that fucking hilarious. What's his last name? I'm like, it's fucking Shortino, as in Mr. Shorty. You know. So it's kind of like this clusterfuck I've started because all my friends and family have said, maintain Mr. Shorty. Don't go away from that. Just stick with it. And even Kitty has said that. Just stick with your brand of Mr. Shorty. But Dan's like, I can't call you that. You're the other Dan to me. And so Nomad or Aldo started calling me the other Dan, but then they went back to Mr. Shorty. It's like, I don't know what the fuck to call myself is my point.
Hey, Kitty, you know what my nickname was as a kid?
Don't fuck laugh. You, Stephen Me.
Don't laugh at me, y'all. Don't be laughing at me. My grandma used to call me Ragu.
Ragu? Did you love the pasta sauce?
Some fucking commercial Ragu had out that I used to sing when I was a little kid.
Oh, that's adorable.
For the longest time, she'd be in front of my friends. Ragu, get your ass in this house right now. Didn't you hear me calling you? My friends busted my balls all the time over that. But yeah, everybody has a nickname from somewhere.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Yep. I think that you're about to be Ragu as of tomorrow night, Nomad.
No. Don't you dare do that.
I will fight you. I'll fight your ass.
And now on Barroom, it's Todd and Ragu.
Todd and Ragu.
Oh my God.
Ragu, if you don't get your ass in this house, I know something.
That's a cartoon.
It is.
Welcome to Barroom Network. It's Bare Their Souls with Dan, Aldo, Nomad.
Y'all ain't supposed to be laughing.
Todd and Ragu.
Todd and Ragu, yeah.
That's hard. That's some scars in my childhood, man.
Oh, God,
okay, well, I'm gonna bow out. I just needed everyone to.
But I do really boring.
Why fucking bow out? It's the last show, Kitty. Stick around.
I do.
No, there's questions waiting for you guys.
Stay on, man.
No, there's questions waiting for you guys. I have to pull up. So you tell me when you're ready.
I have a show to produce, you fucking assholes.
Yep, I gotta go.
My nickname really, but my nickname's really boring. It was just Watsy. That's my nickname is Watsy. That's all I got called out at school.
So
that's a pretty boring nickname, I suppose. Watsy.
What's your nickname, Cliff?
Mine was obvious. People used to call me Big Red Dog.
Totally obvious.
And then when I got old enough that I got past that one, that's when Cheers came out. So I was suddenly Cliff Clavin. I was Clavin.
Clavin, huh? we got a lot of shit coming out on that, Nomad. Bring up the last one. Oh, Foster Cover says, the more you say it, ragu, Nomad, ragu, Nomad.
Oh boy, what I say? I knew I should never said that shit. Fuck.
And then Tao says,
"Hey,
that's
Dan, Dan, what you need to do is instead of having that picture, Nomad, just have a picture of the ragu jar."
Man,
that works.
You know how many fights I got into over that goddamn name, man? Just people constantly fucking with me.
Look at that. We'll pull that last chat up, Kitty. Leave it to a woman to get us all distracted from football. See? That's why you need to be on the show more, and you should have been the entire time, Kitty. But now it's too fucking late because it's the last show on BCP, on the Barroom Network. And you're nothing but Barroom Network material, my dear. She's not going to jump back in. All right. No, fuck you then.
Oh, boy. No, hey, listen. Everybody that's still in the chat, tune in tomorrow. Don't know what all those got cooked up and what he's got up his sleeve, but he likes surprising motherfuckers, and you never know when you tune into a Bare Your Soul show what the fuck you're gonna get. You're gonna get some
football. Gonna have some fun.
You're gonna get some ridiculous ass commentary about this, that. We might start talking about the fucking holes on the moon. Who fuck knows? Depends on who gets the drunkest and the highest. It doesn't fucking matter, but it's some hella good entertainment, and we have fun doing it. So tune in tomorrow, 8:00 sharp Central.
Maybe Kitty will let me smoke a joint in the house on the show.
Oof.
No.
Probably not.
No.
Fuck no. I didn't think so.
What's that all about, kid?
But sorry, fellas. I have to say, I'm really looking forward to the show, man. It's gonna be really good. I think you're gonna have a really good balance. And once you got yourself settled in, man, you're gonna have to have me on as a guest because I'd love to come on as a guest. You know, anytime I have a chance to talk to Aldo or Dan or yourselves, just let me know. But I'm looking forward to tomorrow's show. I'm quite jealous of you all, actually, to be honest with you. But it's gonna be a great show. I think it's gonna be brilliant.
Don't worry, Chris. On Bears Country Productions, we have a lot of interesting stuff lined up, and you are part of that, my friend. So do not be jealous.
Awesome.
You are still going to be part of Bears Country Productions, which is not as special as the Barroom, but you'll still be a part of something.
The Chris and Cliff show.
Yeah, the 2 C's.
Yeah. The double C show.
I think we ought to. I'm gonna see. We should see if we can get Aldo to run down some of the names we came up with for the show, but we landed on Bare Their Souls because of Dan. Dan was, and I appreciate that, but we came up with some funny ass fucking names to that show.
Wait, before you do that, I just want to go back to what Laz said. Aldo's still in the hotel room. If you guys saw last night's show of Dan and Aldo, they're like, yeah, we're gonna be fucking in this bed when we're done with this show.
That shit looked. I felt uncomfortable watching this shit. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here?
You can tell Dan was like, oh, don't tell people that. Don't tell people that.
I just kept thinking, who's the taker and who's the giver?
Aldo was the receiver.
He's somewhere watching this shit right now, thinking how he could use that shit.
I hope so.
Now, really Shorty, back in the 70s, we used to have an exhaust tube that we would put out the window, and then you take a hit and you blow it out the exhaust tube. How far is your window from you?
Right there.
There you go.
It's right there.
Just get a one hitter and blow it right out. Kitty will never know.
Or get you some fucking oil and a vape pen, man.
Dude, I got a PVC pipe in the shed. I could run a PVC pipe right from here. But the problem is, if I smoke a joint, it's just gonna permeate the entire.
Yeah, that's everywhere. No, you have to have a one hitter.
You know, I hear all the time. I hear all the time.
Sucking.
I got a bunch of weed head friends, and they and some of them don't want to make the transition from smoke to the edibles and all the other shit that's out there right now. And I get it, man. At first I didn't, but some people just really enjoy the taste of some good old sweet ass Mary Jane, man. Some people just enjoy the taste of it. I'm one of those guys. I can roll with the other shit too.
Yeah, I just want to know, guys, in America, would you?
Good night, Lynn.
See you, Lynn.
Peace out.
Hold on,
baby.
everyone say good night to Lynn. We love you, Lynn.
Goodbye, Lynn. I just want to ask you guys, in America, when you skin up a joint, do you put tobacco in the joint with the weed, or do you just have it as pure weed? Because over here, we always put a bit of tobacco in.
Nah, that should go right in the
because
garbage.
it burns a bit slower, so it don't burn.
No. Well, that shit goes right in the
garbage. That's how we do it over here, mate.
That would make me a cigarette smoker to my wife, and then she'd be like, "No, that's not happening."
Tobacco slows it down.
Yeah. My wife would call me a cigarette smoker then. She's like, "No, that's not happening."
I never did it back in the day. I never mixed it with tobacco. Maybe opium. Maybe opium, but not tobacco.
Opium, yeah, maybe like a little hash oil or something, but never like with tobacco. It's always just been a straight up doobie. I've got a beautiful doobie roll right now too.
I once mixed it with cocaine, and it like smoking crack.
God damn. Hell no.
All right, what are we going to pick for our next
crack
topic?
Is.
What? Chris, you're not supposed to say that on live TV.
Shit, I got high as fuck.
Dude, Chris is blown up tonight. I love this guy.
I don't give a shit anymore.
He's like, fuck it, it's the last BCP. I'm fucking going all out tonight, guys.
Chris, hit the rewind button, man.
Yeah.
Fix that.
Well,
Chris is like, hold on a second,
that was years. I'll have to stress so that was years.
I got a lot of coke
that was years ago.
Don't do that, though.
I have to stress that was about 2 years ago. Probably 20 years ago, and I was drinking a really nice single malt scotch, and I just had a bit of coke and then some weed, and I just thought, fuck it, see what happens. And I got absolutely off bed, but it tasted horrendous. It smelled horrible. But that was years ago. I must stress that, like 15, 20 years ago. Obviously, I don't do that. I won't do that now because obviously I'm more mature now. So I'm going to be 15 September. So obviously I'm a little bit more mature, slightly. But I love weed. I love weed. It's been. I mean, literally, I smoke so much weed. I get the dealers going. For God's sake, Chris, man, just calm it down a bit. So it's my naughty little vices weed. It's got me. It's an expensive habit, unfortunately.
You know what, man? You know what? There's a I don't know how many people who know what the smell of crack smells like. Like that shit has a distinct smell to it. And one time I was I can't tell you everything I know about the whole thing, but one time I was in a club with this girl. Now I just met her, and it was clear that we was gonna have to leave that motherfucker and go home to her house or my house, hotel, wherever. And we was all over each other. And this is a reggae club, right? And so the whole club is just lit. Everybody's having a good time. And then some sorry motherfucker in the middle of that goddamn dance floor lit up I don't know, he just lit some crack up or some kind of joint that he had some crack on it, and then just fucking ran everybody out of that motherfucker in Columbus, Ohio, man. I'll never forget that. That shit stinks, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'll stay away from it then.
Horrible.
Yeah, don't do that, man. Don't do that shit no more.
I said it only happened once, and it was a long time ago. It's not. I won't do that anymore. I won't do it again. But yeah, that was in my crazy 20s. So yeah, I was a bit, as we said over here in the 90s, I was a bit mad for it in the 90s. So yeah, I was a bit cheeky, but I don't do stuff like that anymore. You know what I mean? I'm past all that.
Yeah, give me a drink, a stiff drink, a nice. We call them in my neighborhood. We roll a joint. They call them white boys because it's white paper. Give me a stiff drink and a white boy, and we good. That's all I need. There's no better buzz than that.
Yeah, I'm saying that exactly the same, mate.
I've moderated since I got older. You know, I'm a respectable citizen now. Unlike the older days. Like I said, I grew up in the 70s, so nothing you guys are talking to me about is things I don't know.
Yeah.
I agree.
Especially in the 70s. My God.
Hey, for our drug message for everybody in chat, I will say that the hard drugs get you sooner or later. You know, the higher you go, the further you fall. So keep that in mind, young people.
Man, the only thing I've ever, if you grew up in a neighborhood like mine and see what drugs do to people, they take you from sugar to shit so fucking fast. You stop. I never had the urge to do the hard stuff because I seen what it did to too many people that I cared for. You know, make a little long story short. One time I fucked around and dabbled with some Xanax. Dude, I lost a whole 2 or 3 days. I don't even remember.
Wow.
And I was just like, that's enough. I ain't touching no more of that bullshit.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't blame you for that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree. I agree what you said, Cliff. Really, I mean, when I was younger in the 90s, ecstasy was like the big thing because of the dance culture, like a big thing in Great Britain, like in the late 80s and 90s. So the ecstasy actually came over from Chicago. That's what all started it. So I used to love doing ecstasy. That was just amazing. But I couldn't do it now because I think when you get to a certain age, your mind overthinks it. So you wouldn't enjoy it. And I think, you know what I mean? When you're younger, you just sort of go for it and think, you know, you don't really think about the repercussions or, you know, how you're going to feel the day after. But I think when you get older, you know, you sort of brain it'll overthink it. So I don't think I'd enjoy it as much anymore if I did it now. But yeah, I used to be, as I said in the 90s, I used to be a bit mad for it, mate.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think you can handle it when you get older either. You know,
no, I don't think you break.
Nah, I'm never gonna stop partying, but I know they're about ready to wrap this show up. So let's let that man do what he gotta do before he fuck around and get shanked off camera or something. Can't hear you, man.
Muted.
Thank you. Kitty has a bunch of questions from chat that she wants to pull up here because people have been involved in chat and we've been fucking ignoring them like assholes because we're having way too much fun tonight.
Sorry, chat.
So, Kitty, let's pull up some of those starred questions here. All right, Tao says, if you had to have one Orlando Brown or Darren Payne, which would you rather have? I'm going to say Darren Payne.
And I'm probably going Darren Payne as well. You know, Orlando Brown is fine, but Darren Payne is a stellar player.
Chris, go.
I've got no idea who he is at all, mate. I don't know. I say I don't really follow college football, so I know the positions I want us to fill, defensive line and all that. But when you come to names, I mean, it takes me everything to remember my own name most of the time. So
cut it, Chris. These are not college players. These are players in the NFL.
I even don't know. I don't even know them.
Fuck it, I'm a Bears fan. I don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
No.
Fuck it. I don't give a shit. Yeah. Who is he? No, I do. He's from Washington, isn't he? He's a Washington defense. Orlando Brown.
Just for you, Chris. Orlando Brown is a left tackle for the Ravens, and Daron Payne is a three-technique defensive tackle
for the Washington
from the I won't say
Commanders,
Redskins, but the Commanders, yeah.
Yeah,
so
I know it was.
I would rather have Daron Payne.
What do you think,
Yeah,
Nomad?
I gotta protect our prized product the best way I can, and if that means Orlando Brown, I gotta protect the prized product. As much as I like Deron Payne, we gotta protect JF1, man.
Would you put Orlando Brown at right tackle instead of left?
Why would I do that?
Well, you've got the Bears left tackle started all 17 games.
Braxton
I mean,
Jones.
It depends on me whether or not Orlando Brown feels better at right or left. I won't play him wherever he feels more comfortable. I think we've seen enough in Braxton Jones where I believe he could adjust to wherever they put him. If they want to put him on the right side, I think he has the skills and the mindset to be able to adjust to that change.
So, all right, and I wouldn't mind seeing either one or both of them on the team.
I'm sorry. I'm just seeing Omar Bear Rios saying, damn, Chris got to go. Ha, ha, ha. That's not fucking funny to me, man. I love Chris. So if one of the two has to go, it has to be you. I'm sorry. But Chris is a fucking... He's allowed on this show, whatever he wants. So
I'll fuck you down. I will hunt you down, motherfucker.
Don't fuck with Chris, man.
I will hunt you down. Don't let the long hair hippie look fool you, man. I will hunt you down and I will get you. So fuck you, man.
The biggest problem that we have with Chris is the delay from being 5,000 fucking miles away from the goddamn across the pond. That's it. Other than that, we all have to kind of work together to give Chris his time to speak, and it's kind of a process. And we're sorry if it doesn't work out. But if you don't like Chris's personality, then you can go fuck off, because Chris is...
Don't be adversarial now.
Part of the Barroom. No, man, no, Chris stood up for me. I'm fucking standing up for him. I got your back, Chris.
It's all good, man. Chris got thick skin on him, man. He'd be all right.
Cheers, man.
I'll tell you, I'm not going out to a bar with you two tonight. I don't know where we end up.
It's I'm not normal like this. I don't know what's up with me today. I'm just so fucking.
Chris is my fucking wingman, and I'm your wingman, Chris.
Yeah, man. Let's cause a bit of trouble.
Hey, let me tell you guys. I don't think I have to tell you guys this, but I got a feeling that everybody here is going to be some part of the bar room in some way, shape, or form. And one thing we have to get used to, is people coming at you. You know, people going to come to the show to show us love. People going to come to the show just to hate us. You know, that's part of it too. My skin is thick enough where I can handle it all. I accept it all. You can come at me. You can show me the love, and it's all the same to me. You know, I'm gonna give it back to you.
Say Omni, if Shorty was my wingman, I would leave him. Explain. Come on. Can you please at least explain yourself, Saint Omni? Come on, man. That was... God,
I don't give a shit, Dan. Honestly, I don't give a shit, because I'm on the show with you fantastic people, and he's just sat there probably on his own in his pants watching it on a phone. So who's winning in that equation? I am.
Thank you, Sid. I mean, that was a joke. That was a joke back.
Anybody ever seen the movie Boys in the Hood?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Can you imagine Chris with that window coming down, him pulling out that that shotgun and shooting that dude Chris with them fucking sunglasses on, doing a drive-by on a motherfucker,
looking like a white Eazy-E and shit.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, Laz, man. I appreciate you, bro. I see you.
Oh god damn, a white Eazy-E. That's what you are.
He's thinking about it now. Now he's picturing
I
it.
Wait,
I'm thinking.
who the fuck is Eazy-E? Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm gonna get this ready. Hold on a second.
You gotta pull it up, don't you?
I'm gonna pull this shit up. I gotta get this shit ready.
Ice
Chris will know
Cube.
this one. Chris will get it when I get it. Hold on a second.
Chris Ice Cube Watts.
Yeah.
Hold on. Where is it? Where's the perfect picture? Where is it? Here we go. All right. It's loading. Hold on. Let's go back. Okay.
Chris might get a kick out of this. Because I know he don't know what we're talking about.
He does not. He has no fucking clue.
You'll get a giggle out of this, Chris.
Go on, put it on me, man.
Foster knows exactly what we're talking about. Let me see. Who up there? Who else up there? Somebody said something and got it right away as soon as I said it.
There we go. You got that curly ass, nappy white hair coming out of the skull cap.
Man, you need to get one. You got to get one with the skull cap, man. Like all you got to do is type in "Boys of the Hood."
What, like a? Yeah, man.
Just type
I'll
in "Boys of the Hood."
get a do-rag for next time I'm on. Yeah,
It's
man.
like your twin
Great
brother,
film.
Chris.
This is like this is like Dan. You know, Dan and Aldo have been making fun of me, calling me fucking Mark Tressman, but
that is funny.
As of the last show, they started calling me
That is
Steve
funny.
Kornacki from CNN. I'm like, you fucking.
Hey, Chris, this is kind of flattering, man. There's worse things they can compare you to. Like all you got to do is Google a James Brown mugshot, and you'll take off running.
No, Boys in the Hood doesn't have Eazy-E in it though. I can't Google that. I just have to.
It doesn't have to have Easy, but you'll see images of guys in those skull caps with the curls under there.
Oh yeah. They had the glow kills, wasn't it? Like in America when Eddie Murphy plays that soul singer, and he's got like the glow, all them curly hairs with that spray stuff that he's been putting in his hair. So I'm actually thinking about getting a haircut actually this week, but I might have to keep it now.
That's the best image I could find. Sorry guys, that's like the best one I could find was of that one right here. Oh, there we go. It's a little bit more.
Google James Brown mugshot. Google James Brown's mugshot. Do that. James Brown mugshot.
What about James Brown the singer?
Yeah, you see this, you're gonna crack up.
You heard about this? I met James Brown the singer.
Did you? I bet he was high.
Oh God!
So bad.
Oh no! Please, you want me to show this?
Huh?
You see it?
This is not good.
The show can't get any further down in depravity, so go ahead.
That's not good.
Bobby,
poor guy.
I want you to get up and do my thing. 1, 2.
Yeah, I feel good, motherfucker. I'm a sex machine, motherfucker. That's what I look like every morning. I feel good.
I can hear Kitty. I can hear Kitty laughing from 200 feet away right now. See you.
So are we saying that nobody? Are you saying that if I were black, that's what I look like? That's what you're saying, isn't it, really?
That's exactly what you
hit me now.
Oh goddamn!
That's me as a black man.
Cliff's like, can I please go watch the fucking national championship game now?
I'm totally straight.
Sorry, Cliff.
You know what it's like when you go to a bar and you're not drinking and everybody else is?
Who's saying who?
Yeah.
I'm just drinking.
I'm not drinking, though. That's the trouble. I'm on. I
will admit I had a
blackcurrant
bong
juice.
I have flavored water.
Foster is cracking up, man.
Oh my goodness.
Now, if you want to go a while, I'll go pour a drink and I'll catch up.
That's funny.
I
James
mean-
Brown was a crackhead. He was.
I wanted to watch this national championship game, but this is such a fucking blowout that who gives a fuck? If Kitty wants to close out the show and I can finish it off from here myself. If you guys want to keep going, we can do that. This is the last
I'm cool, man.
All right, I'm gonna get a drink. I'll be right back.
Might as well, man. I might as well
Cool.
get one too. I'll
Get yourself a
wait for
fucking
Cliff.
drink, Cliff. Fucking A, get a drink, everyone. This is a Barroom Network. It's the last show.
Yeah.
Chris, go get a fucking joint. Go pack up a bowl right now. God damn, what are you doing?
Mate, I ain't got anything on me. That's the trouble. So I'm just on the old. I don't need it tonight anyway. Look at me. I'm talking like a madman most of tonight. That's been going on.
Where's that bank chute that you have in your house? I'll send you a doobie and you just like pull it out of the bank chute and just light it up. Put the chute back, send it back to my house.
Yeah, no, I won't be having any weed until Friday. So Friday be my next time I'll have a smoke, I think.
What a bummer.
Which is a downer.
man,
But
I must
admit that it's quite hard doing a show when he's stoned. Like that show did with you and Lynn, I was a little bit pissed and a little bit stoned. And it took me at least about half an hour to get my head into it because I just kept drifting off and I kept getting really paranoid and everything. So I don't know. I think I'll stay away from having a smoke before doing something like this because it was quite psychologically, it was quite hard work.
Hey, let me tell you guys a quick story.
That was fun. That was fun. Don't ever do that.
A long time ago, I was seeing this girl. I was seeing this girl. She happened to be white, and we were at her apartment, and she started playing music, and we was just having a good time, drinking, smoking, doing all that shit, and she started playing James Brown, and I was like, all right, okay, I feel you, and she got real close to me, and grabbed me by the arm. She said, I don't want you to
I feel good.
Think I'm being an asshole or anything, but do you know what he's saying in this song? I said, you ain't being an asshole. I said, hell, black people don't even know what the fuck he's saying. I don't think he's saying a goddamn thing. He's just making noise. Shit.
Green people. He's fucking green in this mugshot here. He's the Hulk.
The Hulk James Brown.
Yeah, I actually met James Brown in '98. He played at a festival in Leeds, and I was backstage because I knew some bands that were playing, and he was really cool. I just went up to him and went, you're a fucking living legend, mate. I love all your stuff. I love your Live in Apollo, late 60s live albums. And he just went, yeah, woo, yeah, you look good, kid. Keep it going on. And that was it, and he just walked off. And he did like a little shuffle as well. So I was really made up that I met James Brown, the legend, only for about 2 seconds. I'd say his conversation lasted about 5 seconds, but I still got to meet him.
Dude, Chris, all it took was 5 seconds for him to see your hair and go, "This motherfucker is just like me," and he gave you a compliment.
I did have my hair like this. I had it like a Liam Gallagher sort of Oasis haircut, like a Beatles haircut at the time.
That's what
it looks like in the 90s.
Right. That was
I look cool, mate. Fucking hell.
Kitty! Oh, I love you, Kitty. Oh, Kitty.
Is that a white man with an S curl?
You don't fucking know who this is? This is the TV show, The Greatest
American Hero.
The TV show is called The Greatest Hero. Thank you, Cliff. Yes. It was my favorite show when I was a kid, probably ages 5 to 8. In fact, my aunt made me that outfit and the cape. And the show was about a guy that, like, one day opened up his dresser drawer and there was this superhero outfit in there. And he, like, pulled it out and he was like, and the song is, look, it's what happened to me. I can't believe it myself. Suddenly I'm upon top of the world. Should have been somebody else. And so he finds this outfit in his dresser drawer, and he puts it on, and he becomes a superhero. But he can't fly. He doesn't know how to fly. The funny part of this show is that every time he tries to fly, he'll get like, first he can't do it, and then eventually he'll get like 2 or 3 feet off the ground, and then he'll get like 5 or 10 feet, and then 20, and finally he's able to fucking figure it out. And then you get into like season 2, and it becomes even better. It was just a fucking hilarious show.
This motherfucker looked like,
it was called The Greatest Hero.
This motherfucker
That's Chris.
Looked like a white drug dealer from Compton.
But you know, I saw that show, and better's not the word I would use. Maybe cheesy. I guess if you're 5 to 8, okay, then it's good.
5 to 8 was a great show for that.
That motherfucker sells drugs in Compton.
I'm glad you brought the picture up, because I've noticed lads saying that a few times in the chat, and I always kept thinking, oh, who's he on about? The American hero? Who's that? So I'm glad I've finally seen who it is. But yeah, I mean, I'll go for that. Fuck it.
Oh, that was great, Kitty. Thank you. I hadn't even seen that in chat, but that was awesome. Would you rather suck Roger's cock or gargle Favre's dirty balls in exchange for a Bears Super Bowl? Stephen May asks.
I could live without the Super Bowl.
Somebody got in there earlier and said that he loves the show, he loves the content, but he had a problem with using God's name in vain. That's probably me and my foul mouth. Don't mean to be sacrilegious and don't mean to use God's name in vain. In fact, when I do say that word, when I spell it out in the chat or wherever I'm at, I use the T instead of a D, like G-O-D is G-O-T, just to be conscientious of that. So apologize to you, my guy, for that.
Excellent. So would you rather suck Roger's cock or gargle Favre's dirty balls in exchange for a Super Bowl?
Are these our only choices?
Yeah. Per Stephen Me, yes. Or Stefan, however you pronounce it.
I'm not
I'm going to say
I'd gargles. If I had to do it, I'd gargle. I'd have to be Favre's dirty balls, because the idea of a fucking man's cock in my mouth is just not on. So I think the balls is halfway there. I'm not being homophobic, man. I've got friends who are gay, so I'm not being homophobic. But yeah, no. I think the balls is probably, the little. I think that'd be the least
having a cock in your mouth is a lot worse than the balls, than gargling balls. I'll take that along with you.
Problem with the balls is you're pretty close to the butt.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
depending. Some people's asshole is a little farther away from the balls. Some people are closer. Depends on the balls, really.
How do you know all that, Danny? How do you know that, mate?
Well, because I know that my balls are far away from my asshole, so anyone gagging on my balls would have no problem with my asshole. I know that much. But I could imagine. I've been with some women who've had like a close asshole that was right next to their hole, their pussy hole, if you will. Sorry, Katie. Where there's like no taint. There's all different varieties of people. That's what I'm saying.
Different shapes and sizes.
I got like a good 4-inch span between my asshole and my balls, so I'm good. If you wanted to gargle my balls, you'd be okay.
Boy, how did I ever live in life? How'd I ever live in life without that information?
And that image, I can't get the image out of my brain now, Dan. Of you sort of looking at balls with a ruler to check out the difference between the space between your balls and your arsehole. I can't get that image out of my head now. It's burned. I can just see you sort of straddling a mirror.
You're welcome, Chris. You're welcome.
Well,
I won't charge you for that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, Laz is saying, is there anything better to talk about? Laz, what you want to talk about, man? Just put it in the chat. Tell me what you want to talk about. And let's see if we can. If we can answer that.
Get us off topic here, guys. You guys want to talk more Bears?
Shoot.
Here.
Ask questions, man. Let's answer some questions.
In fact, I'm going to go smoke a bong because I can't smoke weed in my house. No, she's saying no. Answer the question?
Man, you on the verge of getting up. You're going to get your ass shanked. You keep it up.
It's my goddamn last show. I can do whatever I want. It's my show.
Like you in jail, motherfucker. You're going to be shanking your ass.
I'll answer the question. What's the biggest Leo factor? What's the biggest position worry going into 2023? I can say center or right tackle. I'm going to answer this so I can go smoke a bong. So I'm going to say the biggest worry in 2023 for me is defensive end or defensive tackle. Center, if what's his name exactly can come back, he could be the center that we signed. But if he can't stay healthy, obviously center is something I haven't even really thought about, to be honest, Leo. So I'm going to say that my biggest worry would be my own biggest worry would be on the defensive line, whether it's defensive tackle or defensive end. I'll let you guys go.
I'll go last. You guys go.
Go ahead, Chris.
Sorry, Cliff. I'll keep stepping on you, man, tonight. Sorry, old boy. I think my sort of worry is really the defensive interior on the line, the defensive end, and also the wide receivers. Because the wide receiver group has been absolutely, it's been very poor this year. So they're my sort of two biggest concerns regarding what we can acquire in the draft and free agency.
This question all depends on which quarterback you want to get killed. Do you want Justin Fields to get killed, or do you want the opponent's quarterback to get killed? Because if you want the opponent's quarterback to get killed, then you do probably a 3-tech or an edge. If you want Justin to not get killed, then you do the right tackle and the center, and possibly a guard to replace Cody Whitehair. So that's a tough either or question. There's so many holes to fill. We got a ways to go. No, man?
Yeah, true.
The question was, what's the biggest position worry, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So if I had to, excuse me, if I had to point out, I don't know if I can point out one position in particular, but I think the trenches on both sides of the ball, mostly, I know we can find the right guys defensively. I know we can pay. I just hope we find the right guys on the offensive line who can pass set and run block to the level that we were able to do this year. I don't want to see a letdown in our run game, just trying to find those guys that pass set better. We do run the risk of doing that, suffering in our run game, because we were looking for guys that pass set better than other people. If you understand what I'm saying, guys that specifically specialize in pass pro versus, guys that can be versatile and are just as effective in the run game. So the offensive line is probably my biggest worry. If it's any position in particular, I'm worried about Tevin Jenkins being healthy.
That's a good point.
I am too.
Good point.
I look at Cody Whitehair's upcoming salary. I don't think he's going to be there next year. So the Bears definitely have some holes to fill. Braxton played all 17 games this year, so they're probably definitely grooming him. I mean, he's going to be around. But other than that, Braxton, Tevin, who we doing at center, who we doing at left guard, who we doing at right tackle. Got a lot of holes.
They've been playing around with Larry Barroom at right guard, so I'm not sure if that's working, but they've been trying to see what they have in him. I'm not sure he's going to stick around after this season, to be honest.
I think Larry Barroom is making a case to be a swing. Now, if there could be a team out there, I doubt it, that has a higher value in Larry Barroom that may make a move for him and may give him a chance to challenge for a starter's job. But he has some weight with the team to be a swing tackle or guard. Depends on what he's put on tape. And I didn't like him at guard. I seen a little bit. I haven't watched him all 22. Didn't like him at guard at all. But he's never played guard, I don't think, in his life. And so I will give him that. Maybe he needs some time to develop there, but what he put on tape the other day, I didn't like.
He played guard the previous game too. It wasn't very good either.
Well, I mean,
So
it's a different position. It's a different technique. So give him that, and while you considering whether he was good or not, it was a different position that he's not used to it.
right. I'm not sure if he's quite built for that though either, like his body style.
No, he's got a guard body now. He does have a guard body. He's wide and compact built, and that's kind of what you need inside in a guard. You know, somebody. I just don't. The thing I don't like about Larry Bourne, and he only flashed it. He didn't do it consistently at all this year. I didn't like his aggressiveness. He didn't really go out there and I don't know if he has that in him, but you got to be a nasty son of a bitch sometimes inside when you're at guard, man. You got to be really nasty in there. And I just didn't see it in him. So if I had a complaint about him, that would be it.
Right. I think I would agree with you on that. Just didn't seem nasty enough playing that.
I'd like to see the guards flatten guys and continue. You know, keep flattening them. Jump on top of them a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the one thing that you did see out of Braxton was even if he was out of position and lost his, he might have lost the battle on that specific play. On some of those, he still ended up like pancaking him in the end, you know?
Hey, Kitty, put up that comment from Leo because I said this in one of our first shows. And what I said was,
you did say that. Yes.
I like the Polynesian guys, and somebody got in my ass and was like,
Strength.
man, you being racial and all this kind of shit. No, I'm not. Those
It's
guys
a
are
body type.
They're built for battle, dude. Look at their body types from the waist down. They are fucking dynamite.
Lower body center of gravity, lower body strength.
I mean, regarding the Samoans, I mean that like rugby's a big game in Samoa, and when they've come over here to play England in rugby union, man, they're absolutely stacked. Like the bodies are so thick and the legs are so thick. You know, it's just their natural trait as a people. You know what I mean? And they're always really, really hard tacklers as well. So they're just really suited for like an interior line position, really, in the NFL. And there's been quite a few throughout the NFL's history as well, especially in the last sort of 20, 30 years. So yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a racial slur or anything. It's just, some people from a certain area grow up in a certain way, and that's all it is. But they're phenomenal athletes.
Myself personally, I'm built like I'm built from like the waist down. I don't have a higher center of gravity though, so I would not make a very good offensive lineman. But I was always fast and slim and tall, but I was like thicker from the waist down. And if I would have if I allowed myself to put on weight and get fat, it goes from like my waist down. My legs would get thick, and I would be able to turn myself probably into a terrible offensive lineman because my center of gravity is too high. I'm built more like a Viking. I'm not ashamed to admit it. That's just it's like it's not a racial thing. It's just look how fucking white I am. I'm whiter than anyone here. I'm whiter than you, Chris.
I don't think so,
Europe. I'm whiter.
Genetically, listen, I watch a lot of the West Coast football, Pac-12, and all those Washingtons, the Utahs, the BYUs. Those guys get it. If you look at those teams, you can pull up anything you want to right now on your phone, and you will see Polynesian guys all over the fucking field. Because why? Genetically, they're more built for it to sustain the power that you need to have. Man, those guys, I would love to see us invest in some Polynesian players, especially in the trenches. Man, those dudes are powerful as shit. We had one guy from Hawaii on our team. Man, this dude, I ran into him one time in practice, and he was just standing there. And I ran into him and felt like I hit a fucking tree, man. I was fucking hurting. And he was just standing there. He just got me off the ground. Yeah, you okay, bro? I think shit. I felt like a fucking potato chip.
Yeah,
right,
man. Those
we have
guys
more
with
questions here. More questions?
Yeah, what's up? We have a lot more. We have 6 more starred questions. Bring them up, Kitty. When is Komet's contract up? I think it's after this following season, right? So he was
Good question. I don't know.
Drafted round 2, wasn't he drafted
round
in
2?
round 2?
So he was. So he only has a 4-year contract. So this is his 3rd year, right? So next year is his final season.
Yes.
So that's why there's a lot of people that are talking about, we have blah 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 millions of dollars in our contract or in our salary cap that's available. But when it comes down to it, there are going to be a lot of players that are coming up for contract soon, including Justin Fields. You have Chase Claypool now is involved in that conversation. You have Mooney, Komet. There's others too. So who are you going to break the bank for? Do you break it's going to come down to like a very interesting and schematic, because we know it's going to start with free agency. So it's going to be we're going to know exactly where this team is going when Poles starts signing free agents. If they go with Deron Payne, or if they can get a Deron Payne, or if maybe they make a trade with someone, then they get like what's the guy from Indy? Everyone has been talking about they could possibly get the DeForest Buckner. So there could be trades that could involve some of that kind of stuff. It's going to be a fucking crazy offseason, man. There's no reason to even talk about it now, but it's just going to be so much fun as it goes on.
That whole thing that was going on between J2K, I call him JFK, J2K, and that goes into the narrative I was trying to say that kind of in a way that we don't know what Pose is thinking 3, 4, 5 years down the line, as far as lots of things go into this ain't fantasy football. This ain't fucking Madden. This is, you have to get the guys that run the books, the dudes that do the accounting, that manage the budget. You got to get all these people in the room and say what's smart and what's not moving forward for this team, as far as prioritizing guys and who to sign. All that shit is a factor. And so Cole Kmet coming into probably a contract season, it wouldn't surprise me if they moved on from Cole Kmet. He's a solid fucking football player. Don't get me wrong. He's a solid fucking tight end, but there are more dynamics to playing the tight end position than just being solid.
You might get the city burnt down if you got rid of Cole Kmet, man.
Bears have tried for so many years to get a good tight end. I think they'd have a hard time.
I just said I wouldn't be surprised. I didn't say they were going to do anything. I said it wouldn't surprise me. That's all I said.
This is a homegrown talent.
You got your fanboy hat on. You got your fanboy. We're not GMs.
This is my fanboy hat, and my
fanboy
hat and my GM's hat says, "Do not get rid of Cole Kmet." Oh, come on, Senami. He's not average.
J2K, stop taking everything personal, man. I'm sorry.
Hold on a second. He's not average. He is the leading receiver on this team this year, guys.
Yeah.
What did he finish with? 7 touchdowns?
I don't know his yardage exactly, but he's the lead. I know he's the leading receiver on the team. I can look it up though.
Oh, he is. He is the leading receiver.
J2K, I just brought you. Your name only came up because we were talking about who to spend money on and free agents and guys that have contracts, and it was all about budget and money, and it just brought you. I just won't bring your name up. How about that? Since you take it.
You know what, J2K, if you want, I'll send you a fucking link. You've been on the show before.
No. I'm not doing that. No.
Bring his ass on.
Going on. We got enough of that.
7 touchdowns for Kmet. That's not bad.
How many yards?
Shoot, I canceled the page.
Well, I'm gonna look it up.
I think he got nearly 500. Sure, it was something like that.
I don't want people to think I don't like Cole Kmet. I like Cole Kmet. But
I'm talking about you.
If you
I'm talking
you
about-
you can't pay everybody, man. You can't. Sometimes you gotta let guys go that you don't want to in order to save money for somebody that you prioritize
listen,
more.
okay, listen. Cole Kmet is nomad right now. Are you taking it? If you're Cole Kmet, you know what? Come on, put yourself in his shoes. Are you taking a hometown discount? You know you are.
What if somebody offered Cole Kmet? Let's say they let him hit free agency. Somebody offered Cole Kmet, let's say 8 to 10 million a year. You want to try to match that?
Yeah. Tight end's an important position.
I would.
8 to 10 million? Yeah.
I don't think that's smart.
Easily.
Don't think that's smart business.
I do, mate. And I have to disagree on that one, Ahmad. I think he's improved dramatically on this season. I think he's started to get a really good connection with Fields, and I just seen a massive improvement to what he was like over the last 2 years. I'd pay the guy, me personally.
Yep, I think he did a breakout in his third year. Yeah, breakout in his third year. Now he's getting into the prime of his career. I think he's going to be even better. You want a tight end that's going to get you, 600, 700, 800 yards and 7, 8 touchdowns a year. I do.
Here's my argument towards Cliff, not towards you, but towards what you're saying.
Sure.
To agree with what you're saying. Me and Shorty and I did a show not too long ago where when I was explaining to him that we started off the season in a certain style of offense, the West Coast style of offense, and it wasn't functioning correctly. And I think the mini buy, they got together with Justin, the OC, and quarterbacks coach, and they kind of asked them, what do you prefer to be doing? What do you think you do well? And they came out of that mini buy looking like the Baltimore Ravens. Am I right, Cliff?
I think that they switched. I definitely think that they switched the scheme and it worked better with the talent that they had.
Okay. What I'm getting at is if you look at the Baltimore Ravens, what they do well is feature tight ends. They go double, triple tight ends, and they do that shit better than any fucking body in the league. Probably an honorable mention to the Patriots.
Yeah.
If we go that route, I could see a justifiable reason to pay Cole Kmet because he would fit well in that style of offense. If they move forward with that style with Justin Fields, then yeah, a tight end centric offense, you want to keep him and you want to pay him that money. So in that instance, I would be wrong.
Gotcha. What would you think about adding somebody like Evan Ingram to the team to aim for that?
I don't know if he's a physical enough blocker. And we need that if you're going to go with that kind of style. And Coach Eberflus emphasizes that. I'd have to watch him really closer to see how well he does that. I don't know him to be that physical of a guy.
And he's hurt a lot.
Yeah, that too.
So, Shorty, you got the stats pulled up. Shorty, freeze? Or did I freeze? Somebody froze.
I think StreamYard just froze up. Sorry about that, guys.
What you trying to pull up? What you doing here?
But this wasn't here the whole time?
The stats were up.
It was on the screen beforehand.
So let's just talk about this. We're talking about Cole Kmet. Yards. Yeah, yes, less yards in his third season than his second season, but look at the touchdowns. Look at the chemistry that he's also built with Justin Fields. There's no fucking way I'm getting rid of Cole Kmet. He's a homegrown talent. Everyone loves him. He's the equivalent of the goddamn Hutchinson in Detroit right now. There's no way we are getting – if we get rid of Cole Kmet, if we allow him to walk, the city is going to go into a major uproar. This kid is on a major ascent. He's building the chemistry with this new – he had 612 yards last year with Justin Fields playing at a subpar level, mixing time with Andy fucking Dalton. And he had 544 yards receiving this year. He had 50 receptions 10 less, but 7 touchdowns. They're going to be working in the offseason like madmen together to make their chemistry even better moving forward. And so there's no way. By the time this season's over next year, Cole Kmet is going to be one of our major re-signings for this team. If it takes $10 million a year, I'm fine with it.
How about this question? This is for everybody. Anybody wants to answer?
Thank you, Laz.
Let's just throw a hypothetical out there. What if Poles is sitting there scratching his beard, trying to figure out who he should pay between Cole Kmet and David Montgomery? Who you picking?
Kmet.
I love David Montgomery.
It's a lot easier to replace a running back.
Yeah.
So
you're not
everybody saying Kmet, right?
Yeah. Are you saying Montgomery?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
No, I'm not. I'd let both of them go, and I think you can upgrade at both positions. I would. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being. I just know that in the style of offense, it appears that they're going to run. You need a more versatile tight end. Not to say that we can't keep Kmet and still add another versatile tight end, which would be my choice if it was me. Keep him and then add another more versatile tight end. Cole Kmet is an inline tight end. You need a guy that can flex out and win one-on-ones. Somebody that's more versatile, if you understand what I'm saying. I mean, you look at a guy, I can't think of the guy's name in Baltimore. He's pretty much a receiver. I've seen him beat fucking slot corners handily. We need a guy like that.
Bears already have that guy. His name is Clayton.
Who?
Move him into tight end like Pittsburgh was doing.
Somebody, Ravi's in there, Kelsey type. Yeah, that's what we need.
Mm.
We need somebody that got swivel hips and can move and shake and break off and get separation, and that would be freaking helpful, man.
So no, but you're really after a bit more of a pass catcher, somebody who can stick out wide, and somebody who's a bit more like the Atlanta tight end who they drafted a couple of years ago. Is it Pitt? Are you thinking that sort of way then?
You just need versatility. Somebody that can beat a slot corner, somebody that can beat a safety, somebody that can definitely beat the shit out of a linebacker and get open at any given moment, and somebody that he could trust, that has great hands and doesn't have a bad injury history. That would help. But yeah, if you're gonna run this style of offense, you need people that can beat DBs and win on the inside, because the inside of the defense is where the weakness always is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thanks, Foster. I met Claypool. Thanks, Foster.
Somebody's asking me a question. You paying what was that?
No, Matt. You paying for what he's worth? Or going after Jacobs?
I'm probably have to kiss Montgomery on the mouth and say, man, I'm sorry, but I got to go get Josh Jacobs, man. He's the best all-around back in football. His resume proves it. You put it on tape, damn it, it's there. He's the best all-around back in football. He fucking has a bad game and he'll average 4 yards a carry. Guaranteed. He will. You in a tight game when you need to finish a game off, you put that ball in his hand and he finishes.
Yeah, we have to see what the Raiders are going to do this year. I mean, maybe he will be available.
Mm-hmm. I know it's a little premature to start. It's a little premature to start talking about draft, but because we were talking about Cole Kmet, we kind of transitioned into, while I was looking up this receiver I was trying to find. His name is Johnny Wilson from Florida State. He's 6'7", 235 pounds, and he runs like a 4-something-40. Yeah. He's something that I think maybe the Bears could be looking to, but a player that they could transform into that tight end that we were talking about when we were talking about Cole Kmet and looking for another tight end to add to this group. 6'7", 235-pound wide receiver that's fast as fuck out of Florida State. That could be something that you could look at. That
I don't know if he's in this chat. I don't think he is, but a guy named Cornelius Squalls said to me, he asked me had I studied Darnell Washington from Georgia. And I told him I've seen video, but I haven't studied him. And I see him as a blocker that has a whole lot of upside in the ability to be able to be a receiver and a pass catching tight end. Would I, because they're trying to, I guess the mocks, he said his mock drafts, this dude kept coming up in the first round. I don't see that. I definitely don't see that. Him being gone in the first round. Maybe second or third, maybe. No. I don't know if you guys even know who I'm talking about. Big 6'7", damn near 300-pound tight end from Georgia.
6'7", 270 pounds. Yeah.
He's a big motherfucker.
He's a big motherfucker. This is what I have on him. I can give you this. That's him.
Huge, man.
He's number 0. There you go.
He's an absolute monster, man.
Wow.
Won the genetic lottery by a lot.
See, this is going to be such a fun off season. Look at that, 6'7", 270 pounds.
Wow.
Christ.
He's a load, man. He absolutely just crushes people. You talking about a physical blocker. This dude is everything you want and some, if that's what you're looking for, as far as that goes. It's like another offensive lineman, man.
I see a really interesting question here in chat. Kitty, pull that one up. It's from Stefan. Jesus Christ! Can you please pronounce your name correctly for us? Is it Stephen? Is it Stefan? Is it Stefan?
Stephen me.
Nomad, would you kiss Monty on the mouth or Komet on his taint?
He's trying to say tank.
No, he's saying
no, honest.
I'd do it if you give me your lips.
Asshole and his balls.
I'd do it if you give me your lips, Steven. I'll do it.
If you're talking shorty, it's about this big.
4 inches.
Thank you. Yeah.
So here's an interesting question, guys.
Thank you, Cliff.
Thank you. Pain.
If you had a choice to sign that monster that Shorty just had on the screen, and you could part with Cole Kmet, would you consider that?
Wait, say that again.
I'd still keep Kmet.
See how you guys pause?
No, really I missed the question because I was reading comments. Say that again.
If you had the opportunity to sign Cole Kmet, or the opportunity to draft this guy in the, say, 3rd round, 4th round, whatever, would you take that opportunity and not sign Cole Kmet?
No, I would still sign Cole Kmet. I would draft this kid.
That's fanboy shit. I'm just telling you.
No, it's not. No.
It is.
No,
we still have one more of Cole Kmet. So if we can draft someone like that this year and have Kmet, I'll let you talk next, Chris, and then have Kmet develop that kid, and then we can talk about that in a year from now. We can have the discussion, but for right now, Cole Kmet, man, I would I would have his babies if I could right now. He's like the best tight end we've had since fucking Greg Olsen, who we traded away for nothing for no reason. Go ahead, Chris.
I mean, I'd definitely keep Cole Kmet because he's proven that he's done it. You know, this kid, all right, he might be a wonderful size, not all that, but he's still a rookie. You know, and Cole Kmet's he's just improving all the time. So ideally, I'd like to have both in an ideal world, but I wouldn't trade Cole Kmet and draft this guy as a replacement. Not at this moment in time, anyway.
Yep, I agree with Chris and Shorty. You know, I want Kmet on the team, and Shorty mentioned Greg Olsen. That's exactly what I'm thinking, Nomad. I'm thinking you'll let Kmet go now, and you might be letting the next Greg Olsen go.
No, he's nowhere near as fluid as Greg Olsen. They're like night and day as far as their fluidity, man. Cole Kmet is way stiffer.
He is more
than Greg Olsen, man.
Yeah, he's much
Greg
more
Olsen's
stiff.
different.
But he gets the job.
Kitty, come on.
Yeah.
Kitty, tell us what you think about Cole Kmet, Kitty. Come on.
I am a huge fan of him. I think he's going to be a huge star. He's going to be with us for the next 10, 12 years. He's Brian Urlacher, but for the offense. Like, now, you know what I mean, though? Like, he's going to be a bear. That's what I mean by that. He is a bear.
Mm-hmm.
And he's good looking,
my
yes.
dear.
But that's
See, I knew that was coming. Kitty's crushing on that motherfucker. She's
Good.
I
crushing
thought
on
that as well.
She's
But
crushing
he's
on
got,
Cole Kmet.
and I can't say anything after. He's got good hands. You guys are going to jump to something else.
He got good hands, all right.
But he's going to take this team forward, and you can keep him with Justin. And then now, I don't know, Claypool, stock market, right? It's kind of the stock market there, but I feel like every time I see Kmet on the field with Justin, I'm like, he's going to Kmet, and boom, honey, does he not? I call it almost every time,
Okay.
and it's a big play.
Kitty,
That's mine.
Kitty, I got a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Just act like Shorty couldn't see, hear, and had no chance at all of finding out what you did. Would you cheat on him?
No.
With Cole Kmet.
God, no.
With Cole Kmet. You wouldn't even kiss him.
No, I've actually been asked out by a first baseman for the White Sox.
Wow.
And I turned him down because I had a boyfriend.
Well,
My wife would have dumped me for Walter Payton in a second.
Oh.
Dude, listen, guys. Colt Kmet could be your kid. That's why.
Omar Barrios is telling me, oh yeah, Martellus Bennett. Now that's the versatility. That's the kind of versatility we're looking for. That kind of somebody with swivel hips and can really shake and move and groove a little bit. He was the right guy. We just had the wrong fucking situation for him. He was definitely the right. That's the kind of guy we're looking for.
Yeah.
But look at the rest of the needs on the team. Let's fill some of them first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We got one more year with Kmet, so let's build that chemistry and see where it goes, and we'll talk about that when it happens, right? So
for the record, I cheat on your ass with Cole Kmet.
you know he reminds me of. He looks like oh god damn it, Kitty. Who is it? The guy from that 70s show. God damn it. What's his name?
Ashton Kutcher.
Thank you. Ashton Kutcher. He looks like Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah. Well, he's a Bears fan as well, isn't
he? It is, yeah. Even better.
Two kind of people in the world I don't trust. People whose eyebrows connect and people who don't have a neck. I don't trust them motherfuckers. I don't know why.
No, I gotta interject here. That Greg Olson, watching him broadcast now, he's sort of dorky looking.
Who?
Oh, Greg Olson.
Greg Olson.
Oh, yeah.
He's broadcasting now. He's got the big blonde hair and.
I do like him. I think he's done a good job as a broadcaster.
He's a great broadcaster. He just looks sort of dorky.
Square, very square looking.
Yes.
Yeah, he square as hell. I see every four corners on that motherfucker.
No man, when I was watching they were talking whatever it was Fox whenever Sean Payton is on, and
Fox.
Yeah, Fox. Yeah, Terry Bradshaw and all those guys, and Sean Payton. They were asking about like what team he's going to go to the next, as the next head coach, and he was talking about the management and stuff. The whole time he's talking, I'm realizing I see no neck on him.
Who?
Sean Payton. Sean Payton. He has no fucking neck.
He's
like talking like this. He's like this. He's like, yeah, it is. Well, for me, it all comes down to the ownership and the management as well. It's not just with the players on the team or the quarterback, but it's also the ownership. And he's doing this and this and that, and talking to guys. And I'm like,
it's how he stands as well.
We had a dude on that. We had a dude on our team, man. We had a fullback on our team. We used to call that motherfucker headquarters because he had no neck at all, man. He just was a fire hydrant, man. He was built like Barney Rubble and shit, man. Just thick. He was the same width all the way down from his neck all the way down to his feet.
Oh God.
Now did you
wait? Stephen May gargled someone's balls. What's going on over here in the chat? Oh my god, this show is fucking hilarious.
It's deteriorating quickly. Yes.
Can you imagine?
No, this is not.
Can
This
you
is
imagine
fucking
a
fun.
motherfucker that looks like Barney Rubble, man? I seen that in real life. Damn, somebody just said
No.
Georgia just went up 66-7.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's one of them, you know, you get that meme out of Rocky 3. Throw in the damn towel.
Yeah.
Throw in the towel.
Where's the
Y'all know what I'm
flag?
talking about?
Yeah, slaughter rule. Yeah. Where's the slaughter rule, man? We give up.
That's the kind of shit.
It's
that
like when
coaches
you're playing
end up
Madden,
doing.
or like you get the little blip on the screen. Do you want to quit? You're like, yeah.
Coaches end up in a fight in the middle of the field for shit like that.
Shorty,
Yeah.
you mentioned Terry Bradshaw. You know, the Bears were a coin flip away from having him as their quarterback.
Of course I fucking know that. But do you think he would have done shit on the Bears? I mean, he would have done shit on the Bears.
Terry Bradshaw.
When Terry Bradshaw joined the Pittsburgh Steelers, he fucking sucked in the first 3-4 seasons on that team. It only took his own moxie plus the rest of the building of that team with the same head coach for like 30 fucking years in the middle of it to build that team, though. If you would have come to the Bears, I don't think he would have done shit. Just like I don't think if the Bears would have somehow, I'll let you talk next, Chris. If the Bears would have somehow fucking pulled the trigger and got Mahomes, I don't think that would have worked either. It's just, I think it's a lot of it has to do with the fit of the offense you're going into, the ownership, the coaching staff, and whatnot. Go ahead, Chris.
I was just going to say though, if they'd had drafted Bradshaw, that means you'd have had Bradshaw and Walter Payton on the same team. So could have been a good, could have worked out pretty nicely if you ask me. Because Walter Payton had to do everything for that team in the 70s. So if we had like a half decent quarterback, it could have worked out.
But Bradshaw sucked in his first 3-4 years in the league, and what made Bradshaw? Was it himself, or was it the coaching staff and the team that was built around him that made that? Would that have happened with the Bears? I mean, it's hard to speculate what ifs. It's like, what if Michael Jordan wasn't drafted to the Bulls? Would he have been Michael Jordan on, without Scottie Pippen, without Dennis Rodman?
Jordan would have been fantastic anywhere. Generational.
He would have been,
player.
but he couldn't get past. Listen, I love Michael Jordan. Okay, I watch every single one of his games. I grew up there, but if he wasn't, if he got drafted by the Clippers, would he have been Michael Jordan? Would he have been able to win all those championships? Is what I mean. It just takes the right surrounding to make things perfect. To make Tom Brady what Tom Brady is. Is Tom Brady on the Bears what Tom Brady is? Is any player what they are on another team if it takes all the perfect situations? And that's what all of our fears kind of been. I'll let you talk in a second. What of all of our fears kind of been with the Bears is getting the fucking perfect storm together with the coaching staff and this, and the quarterback and the defense, and when it all comes together, it's a perfect storm. And those are the teams that make the championships, and the ones that sustain it are the ones that make the dynasties. Go ahead.
I was going to say exactly that. That when you put together the right chemistry, the right players, that's when you get those championships. And I think the Bears are heading in that direction right now. What you were saying, I was thinking, well, that's the Bears. That's the Bears. This is what we're going to see. Sorry, Nomad.
No, go ahead, finish, man.
That's it. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going. If you got more to say, go ahead, because I'm going in a completely different direction than what this conversation is.
Do you have anything to add to that, Chris?
Not really, no.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Nomad. Fucking fire away, buddy.
I just want to throw a curveball into the pitch count right quick, and I just want to give you guys some behind the scenes conversations we had with producing this show for the Barroom, Bare Their Souls. And I just want to see a 1 if you have any interest in what I'm about to say. We were talking to Aldo, and Shorty knows what I'm talking about. Talking to him about, I love the the old fights, the old boxing matches from the 70s, even further back than the 70s. I love those Ali fights. Love those Sugar Ray Leonard fights, those Hagler, those Hearns, all those great fights. I mean, it was a bonanza back in those days for fights. I see them all on video. And I was telling Aldo, man, I think there's gold in that. I think people would tune in like a motherfucker to watch us cover this and give our input and take their input and put it. I think it's a gold mine. If you agree with me, just put a 1 up there. Put a number 1 up there. If you don't,
a 1 from Adam Dobbs.
So I
already got a 1. You're already up 1, Nomad.
Gotcha.
Sinamdi says Hagler earns round 1. Hagler Hearns round 1 was bonkers. So that sounds like a 1. I mean, these are just like things we're talking about doing. So for anyone, there's a lot of people in chat now and watching. So this is the final episode of Bears Country Podcast. So for anyone that does not know, Bears Country Podcast is its own entity. I started it in the day before training camp, and I brought Nomad on. He became my co-host. And then Aldo asked us to come on to the Barroom Network. And then it just so happened to be the first game of the first Monday after the first game of the season. And at that point, there was some stuff going on in Nomad's life, and he couldn't quite, join up to that. And so we kind of transpired with Dan and Cliff, and we had the Cliff Notes and all that. And then as we kind of got into the season, Nomad was more able to be more involved in the show. So he came along, and now we've come back together. And that's when we kind of got rid of the Cliff Notes at the end of the Bears Country Podcast section, kind of brought Nomad back on. And it just so happened that this amazing opportunity happened that Aldo is, he's in his fucking 60s, and he wants to do more production. He wants to do more behind the scenes stuff. He wants to spend more time with his wife. He wants to, spend time with his family, his grandchildren. So we're going to come along and be a part of that to take some of that. And listen, everyone out there that thinks that Dan and Aldo is going away, that's not. It's just becoming bare their souls. And then Nomad and I are going to come in, and we're going to kind of take up some of that.
It's freezing up.
He's frozen all the way up.
Yep.
So
you want to take over for him, Nomad, on what he's going to be doing?
What he's trying to say is Dan and Aldo bare their souls. That aspect of that show ain't going nowhere. That aspect has gone nowhere, and it won't go anywhere. And what he's saying is all we're doing is coming in to exemplify it all. Just bring.
I lost my feet. Sorry.
We're a couple of different pieces of spices. You got spices in your spice rack. We're just adding a little bit to it.
I don't know where I lost you, but my point is that Aldo needs some time to himself and his family. So we're gonna kind of mesh together, and we're gonna create this new show called Bare Their Souls. And then when Aldo needs to go take some time with his family, or to go do some production stuff, like he's going to do the East-West Shrine game, I'm going to be there to host the show, because Nomad doesn't have a face, and neither does Dan. So I'm going to be the host of the show. So whether you like me or not, I'm part of the fucking show now. So we're gonna kind of mesh this together. We're gonna make it a great fucking show. Bare Their Souls on Tuesday nights, and it's gonna be amazing. Aldo's not going anywhere. Trust me. Eventually, when Aldo gets too old and he wants to go somewhere, it's on his own accord. But it's not going to be like something that's happening right away. So anyone that's in fear of that, please do not fear that. It's still the Dan and Aldo show. It's just involving us more in like a mesh concept to make the show like more to give more variety to the show. So in moments when there is other moments where the one or the other two can't be there, it's still there. It's an important show for the network.
What you're gonna see?
Oh, it's
what you're gonna see is the same type of flavor, but and you're gonna see a little bit of us, trying to work out, just trying to make sure we're not all over each other and just all our different opinions and different personalities. Over time, you'll learn to enjoy that as much as you did Dan and Aldo. It just takes time. New things people don't gravitate towards so quickly, but in time you'll get to it.
That's why we're trying to mesh this together.
Yeah. Go ahead, Chris.
Thank you, Omar.
I personally think it's going to work brilliantly because no matter Mr. Shaw, you've been on their show before, and it just gelled, straight away. Like tonight's show. I mean, I just came on, bang, 20 minutes in, and we all just gel, and that, because we're all Bears fans and we're all good people with high character, and it's just going to be a blast, man. You know what I mean? It's going to be a good show. Like Nomad said, you're going to bring things in what maybe Aldo hadn't thought about doing or saying or Dan Aguirre. So it's going to be really good, and I won't worry about it, boys. I think it'll just slot in. You'll have a great time. You'll entertain us. You'll inform us, and hats off to you, man. I think it's brilliant.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
I appreciate that, man.
And I agree. I won't be concerned or worry about it. Just do it. I mean, people are going to like you guys. They've liked this show. They're going to like you on Bare Your Souls just as much. So I won't worry. You guys are worrying too much. Just relax and do the show, and it's going to be good.
Yeah. I mean, you guys
just do what you do.
Yeah. I mean, it's the thing. It's one of those things where it's about a respect thing because these guys have had an established 3 years of putting out a brand of a show, and you just trying to make sure you don't fuck it up is what debate basically is what it is. And I got confidence in myself. I know he's got confidence in himself. I know that we're going to bring great shit to the show. This is basically just priming people to get ready for what they're going to see.
Listen, a few years ago, Kitty bought me a microphone, and I opened it for Christmas / my birthday, and I was like, what is this? And she's like, it's for you to make a Bears podcast. And I was like, what the fuck is a podcast? And years later, I was working, and I was like, I want to find some Bear stuff because I work from home. So I'm like, I want to find some Bear stuff to watch while I'm working. And I came across Dan and Aldo, and it became my absolute favorite fucking podcast of all time for the Bears. I don't give a fuck about anyone else but Dan and Aldo. As long as I watch every one of those, I thought if I could I just wish I could be one of their friends, to talk football with them, talk Bears with them. And it's just amazing that I'm sitting here humbled that tomorrow night we're going to be doing our very first show with them. I almost want to start crying because seriously, it's
I'll be crying and shit, man.
I almost do. But I'm holding back, man, because tomorrow night's going to be a very special night for myself, and I know you too, Nomad, because when we were doing the Bears Country stuff, we talked all about the Barroom, and your affinity for the Barroom was so prominent in those conversations, and just to be here, I'm good. So I just want to say fucking thank you to everyone for supporting us, and thank you to Aldo and to Dan, and thank you to Nomad, and thank you to everyone. Cliff, thank you to Chris, thank you to Kitty for making all this happen. I just love all of you so much. Thank you.
Well, we'll be there. We'll be there in
you
chat
start
tomorrow.
Crying because I heard Kitty in the background preparing a sock full of nickels.
Time to get him off there. He can't do it anymore. Whack.
I heard the coins dropping in that motherfucker. She was like, fuck him up.
But seriously,
I'll be looking forward to Wednesday morning. I'll be looking forward to Wednesday morning when I get up, and I'll be having my cup of tea and my crumpets, and I'll be watching you boys on Wednesday morning. I'm really looking forward to it. And I won't even build it up. I mean, before I did the Barfly tailgate show, I never even FaceTimed anybody on a phone. I'd never done anything like that. And it's just like, I think, because of the Barroom Network and also on this show as well, it's easy because I enjoyed I enjoyed the social aspect just as much as talking about the Bears. You know what I mean? I enjoy getting to know you guys and having a laugh and talk, and also talking about the Bears, and just relax, man. Somebody, it's going to be a blast, and I can't wait to watch it.
Thank you, my guy.
And Chris, you know that you have a spot on Bears Country Productions now, so make sure you guys check that out because Bears Country Podcast has transformed into Bears Country Productions now, as I've said before, and Chris is a part of that, and so is Cliff, and we're going to be doing some stuff on there that's going to be, and Nomad as well. We're
No,
going to
you
do some
paying
stuff
me,
on there.
motherfucker. You paying me?
Fuck Nomad. So Chris and Cliff.
Man, we're all getting paid. Yeah.
That's why I didn't say you.
Pay Nomad. That's the next meme.
We're moving on up to
so we'll have some additional stuff on there too as well. So just make sure you, if you like this content, we'll have some additional stuff on there as well that's kind of Barroom centric. But Tuesday nights is going to be the fucking show. Yeah. I'm so excited, Nomad. It's going to be amazing. Guys, let's wrap this shit up. It's going on 3 hours and 23 seconds. What are your last thoughts on, what do you want to say? I'm going to start with you, Chris.
Wow. Last thoughts is I'm glad this season's finished because every game will just turn into one big long grey losing streak, and it was so hard to sort of get it, to sort of I'm not saying I'm a journalist, but to sort of talk, be a pundit about it. I'm just really, it's like Nomad said earlier on, I'm really like optimistic about the future for the Bears. And I hope Pauls, with all this big gamble he's done this year, that it pays off. But also, yeah, obviously, it's just been Dan, thanks for letting us come on tonight, firstly. But it's just been awesome just to chat to you guys, man, again. And I wish yourself and Nomad, a great show tomorrow, and I can't wait to watch it. And I can't wait to see what Cliff does in the future as well on this channel. And I hope I have a chance to, get on with Cliff again, because Cliff, you're just an awesome dude, mate. And just bear down, man. Let's all hope that this is a corner we're going to turn, and it's going to lead us up to something where we all want this club to go, and we all deserve it as well, because every Bears fan I've met have all been great people. Just good luck for tomorrow night, boys, and I can't wait to watch your show.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you, man, so much. Thank you.
Cliff, man, my man. Go ahead, man. Give your speech here, buddy.
I'm looking forward to getting back to reality in the Bears press conferences. I can't watch them recently because they're full of so much BS. You see one thing that is truth, they're telling you it's not. So let's see reality again the way we had it at the start of the year, and then let's see this offseason. I am really looking forward to this offseason more than any offseason I can remember, even going back to 85. So I'm looking forward to that. And I want to see what's happening tomorrow with you guys on Bare Your Souls. So I'm definitely going to be in chat tuning into that one. So I can't wait to see you guys.
Thank you, man.
Nomad, my man.
You guys, man, I'm sincere as fuck when I tell you this. When I look at this chat, I get so grateful just because you're here this long. You're here for 3 hours and something. And that tells me a whole lot. Now, Nomad is all kinds of things. He's any fucking thing you need him to be. But you can best believe when it gets down to it and we start talking Bears, you can best believe I'm behind the scenes working my black behind off, trying to make sure I come correct when I talk about a player or a situation or this team. Best believe I'm doing my homework and I'm standing on something. And I aim to bring that to the Barroom and to Bare Their Souls, plus a whole lot more crazy, outrageous ass shit you're hearing tonight. This ain't nothing. There's a whole lot more coming. Trust me. When you get there, you're going to be pleased. Just give it time.
Guys, I want to say that, I love you all, man. Chris or Cliff, you were on the very first Barroom Network Bears Country Podcast. Much love to you, my brother. Chris, you were on one of the very first Bears Country podcasts ever on our channel. And Nomad, I mean, you know my love for you, brother. You were on the second, moving forward. In fact, I think you were on the first one, and then Chris was on the second one on Bears Country Podcast. And I just want to say, I love all you guys. It's been a blast, and all my love to the Barroom Network and to Aldo for the opportunity to give our exposure from Bears Country Podcast on this network with all of these amazing fans and all of these amazing fans in chat. J2K, you've joined us.
I love you too. I love you too, J2K. You too, brother.
There's been a lot of people in the chat that have joined us over the last, since July 25th, and it's been a pleasure. Even the fucking Jordan Silvera, man, love you too, Jordan, for everything that you've done for the contribution to Barroom Network as well as Bears Country Podcast, and I've helped you as well. So, it's been a blast. So, and to my lovely wife, Kitty, I love you, baby. So. There is still a lot to come on Bears Country Productions, which is still our own channel. There's going to be more of Cliff. There's going to be more of Chris. And there's going to be more of Nomad. And please make sure that you check out the Chris Watts GoFundMe page, because we're trying to get his blokey ass to Soldier Field, see a fucking game in real time in the Bears Stadium. And even if it's not Soldier Field, well, the goal is by 2023. So let's try to make that happen.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Amazing.
So it will be awesome. We're going to get him a dick enhancer so he can handle them fat bitches better.
Yeah, exactly. I'll put the link in the description to this episode. And I just want to say thank you to all you very, very much for everything that you've done. Bears Country Podcast has been awesome. Stay tuned tomorrow night for the new Bare Their Souls with Nomad, myself, and, of course, Dan and Aldo and Tucci. Tucci's the man. Without Tucci, it would not happen. So we love everyone here. And we're going to give a one last fucking Bears on a 1, 2, 3. Ready, guys? Because this is the last one. Make it a good one. 1, 1, 2, 3.
Peace and love, motherfuckers.